I got this. Everybody's telling me to let go, no. But they don't know that all I see is ego, yeah, ego, no. Stop, hold up, I know I'll never be whole. They took all my pieces, my pieces, my pieces. Hear me, I got this.
Down by the river, I was drawn by your grace into depths of oblivion, into the lover's place. I was stuck in a puddle full of tears and unwise, stuck doing snow, know that we've paid unlike, and you know, hey, when we walked out alone, I felt like we can throw away the forces of a past, and I know too, it's been the hardest days for you. Let's throw them out the window, that's what those lovers do. I was drawn by your grace into depths of oblivion, into the lover's place. I was stuck in a puddle full of tears and unwise, stuck doing snow, know that we've paid unlike, and you know, hey, when we walked out alone, I felt like we can throw away the forces of a past, and I know too, it's been the hardest days for you. Let's throw them out the window, that's what those lovers do. I was drawn by your grace into depths of oblivion, into the lover's place. I was stuck in a puddle full of tears and unwise, stuck doing snow, know that we've paid unlike, and you know, hey, when we walked out alone, I felt like we can throw away the forces of a past, and I know too, it's been the hardest days for you. Let's throw them out the window, that's what those lovers do.
of the highway, it's way have you moved? It's been a while since our eyes grew. Cosmic love gave you something gold, so you wrap it all up and take it. Suddenly it's all real, suddenly it's how you feel. You're free now, somehow. Suddenly it's all real, suddenly it's how you feel. You're free now, you're all you have to give. The unknown now, the unknown now, the unknown now, the unknown now. Real things you found, you feel a little younger, and you begin to wonder, what is it you want to love? What is it you want to love? What is it you want to love? Suddenly it's all real, suddenly it's how you feel. You're free now, somehow. Suddenly it's all real, suddenly it's how you feel. You're free now, you're all you have to give. The unknown now, the unknown now, the unknown now, the unknown now. You release, you give yourself away to the rhythms of the world, adored by the sun's rays. What's left to do? To feel it all. You're alive now, to die is dust. Nothing less or something more. Something more.
Missing you still pleases me. I'm a silent victim to you. You don't need to make a sound. Just keep me quiet.
Good morning. All right, good morning, Sight Texas. Let's get this day started. Who's ready? Who's ready? All right, I just walked by each of your tables. If you're ready, that means you're ready to get rowdy. So rowdy is ready, ready is rowdy. Who's ready? Awesome. I want you to stand with me as we just create the energy, the excitement, and we create the opportunity of the day. We have about 3 hours left to the day, and we're going to make the most of every minute. Got an amazing keynoter that's going to start our day here in just a few minutes. Some great introductions and some opportunities today, and then I'll close the day. But here's what I want us to do. Just like we started yesterday with expectation. You see, when you have an expectation of greatness, when you have an expectation of good things, when you have an expectation, you are creating the momentum, the energy to create the life that you want, to create the success that you want. And every single one of us are here today to connect and to reconnect and to move our businesses and lives forward. But it starts with expectancy. So right now, I just want you to have an expectancy of something amazing is about to happen. So I want to hear you say it. Something amazing is about to happen. 1, 2, 3, go. That's expectancy. Now, the second thing is intent. Right? We have to create a specific intent. So we have an expectancy. We've already created the right energy, the right momentum, the right mindset for the day. But now we need to focus on the one thing. What's the one intent that you still need to have happen? Or maybe it's already happened, but it's happened yesterday, last night, or it's happening this morning, and that one thing. So I want you right now to create and identify the intent, the outcome that you want by the end of today. At noon when we dismiss, what do you want to see happen? That opportunity, that connection, that rekindling, that friendship, that business opportunity, that perfect event, the perfect client, whatever it is. I want you to think about it right now, and I want you now to declare that, right, in your mind, to identify the intent. Get specific with it. Because expectation needs something specific to direct its energy to. So we're going to direct all of that focus to that one intention. Do you see it in your mind's eye? Do you see it in your heart right now? And then the last thing is about action. And so today we have expectancy, we have intent, and then we're going to take action. And I can tell you the people that get results in this world are the people who take action. Turn to somebody, say, take action. You want results, you have to act on your intentions that are created by your expectations. All right, yesterday we totally broke the rules of COVID by doing a high five around the room. Today we're going to go to the next level. Somebody say next level. So now we're going to give each other a kiss on the cheek. No, I'm teasing. We're not going to do that. I've already been censured by the board. We can't do that. I'm teasing. The board didn't do that. No. I tell you what, turn around, give air fives today and say, let's make this day awesome. 1, 2, 3, let's make this day awesome. Awesome. You can be seated. Last night was so amazing. Thanks to Visit Austin for their sponsorship of the event at Bangers. Who had a good time last night? Great food, great drinks. You know, the real gift of yesterday, all day yesterday, and the real gift of today, real gift of last night, certainly there's business that's happening. Connections. You've learned some things, some new strategies. If it's just that one idea, however small or big it is, that changes the game, it's all been worth it. But even more than any of that, it's that the family is back together. And this has been an amazing family reunion. The Sight Texas family is like none other. Did I hear somewhere, was there a rumor or was it just a rumor that somewhere there was a chapter of the year? Who was that? Oh, is that you? Is that you? Okay, all right. So that makes sense now. I totally get it. So this has been a time for the family to be together, and that's what's so important about being connected to an association like Sight Texas, because it is about friends and family sharing the journey of life, of leadership, of business, of impact, and of influence. And so thank you for allowing me to share this weekend with you and to be a part of the Sight Texas family. And let's continue the family reunion here this morning. A couple of things real quick that I want to walk through. First of all, we need to celebrate some big things from the auction last night. Do we have any auction winners last night? Let me see your hands. If you're an auction winner, stand up. If you're an auction winner, go ahead and stand up. Yeah, all right. Good. So we got a bunch of winners in the room. I know last night I was a winner. I won one of the auctions last night, and I owe my deep apologies to Todd. because at the last second of the night, I outbid him. Sorry, Todd. Love you, bro. He's already told me he's going to mess up my presentation this morning. He's going to pay me back. But no, we had a great time bidding. And so here is the number. Ready? Someone give me a drum roll on your table. Give me a drum roll on your table. Are you ready? $12,790 raised in the auction. Good job, good job, good job. Thank you to all of the sponsors that made those auction items available, that gave them to Sight so generously so that we could have some fun together. We can also have some cool experiences, but we can also raise some money and do some good in the world, and that's amazing. Now, one of the things we want to encourage you, for those of you that are winning, that were on Sight, we want you to meet your sponsor and get that gift from them. So some of you bid on a hard item, so make sure that you pick that up, whatever is one of the bags or one of the packages, and then also the travel packages, the leisure packages. You want to make sure that you connect with that sponsor before you leave today. So for those things that have to be shipped, they'd rather not ship them. They'd rather give them to you, and you can take them home in your luggage. And so anyway, make sure that that happens today. And we also want to thank Jay Woods. Jay is right over here. Everybody say, Jay, thanks for the photography. He's done an amazing job taking headshots, and those are so important. Get those updated. Keep those going. And Joe, are you going to be available anymore, or are the headshots done for the event? During the break. Okay, fantastic. During the break, back over across the way, Joe will be there. So now we want to begin to honor for just a couple of minutes a few of our sponsors. The first sponsor that we want to honor this morning is Don Eagleton with Business Events Montreal. Don, come on up.
Good morning, everyone. So glad to be here. We're very proud from Montreal to again be a sponsor and to partner with all of you. This is my first live event since everything shut down, so I'm really honored to be here to continue the relationships that we've started and to meet so many new friends. How many of you have been to Montreal before? Oh, yay, yay. When we were just talking about setting our intention for this morning, my intention is that one day we will have the Sight Texas Tech Summit in Montreal. So I'm just going to take a moment to show you a little brief video to welcome you all back to Montreal one day soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate it. And by the way, she did exactly what we're talking about: expectation, intention, and action. She put that into practice, so good job. So maybe Sight Texas will be in Montreal. Very good, thank you. All right. Our next sponsor that we want to honor this morning is Marcy Zaworski with Palaka Resorts. Marcy, would you come? Oh, hold on. I have my glasses. Palaka, did I say Palaka? Hold on, guys. I do need to read with glasses. Oh, I'm sorry. Marcy Zaworski with Palace Resorts. Let's welcome Marcy. Good job. So sorry.
And here I thought maybe you would have messed up Zaworski. Good morning, Site Texas. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to get together. It is so good to see and be seen. The last 14 months have been just awful. We have all experienced professional and personal losses in some situations that we will never recover from. But the last 14 months have also given us an opportunity to stop and appreciate the things in life that truly matter, and that's family, friends, and faith. "2020 to me was like your junior high school bully. It kept pushing and pushing and pushing you to the end of that cliff. And just when you thought, I have my balance, right over the cliff you went. Not me, 2020. Not you, not you, not you. Instead of falling, we all reached up and out to one another. Battered and blistered and bloodied and calloused, we held on to the edge of that cliff. Our grip became our grit. And I've always talked to my children about, you could say and do whatever you want, but it has to come from in here. You have to show people your grit. So, if you are sitting in this room today, it is because you are an extreme fighter with incredible heart and determination and the most incredible grit. All the suppliers we have, if you're a hotelier, you have beautiful rooms. I have beautiful rooms. But at the end of the day, it's how you make people feel. And I hope one day soon you're in any one of my Palace or LeBlanc hotels, and we could make you feel like the superstar that you are. And hopefully we are sitting on a beach in Mexico or Jamaica with the sun on our face and a drink in our hand. So I thank you so much. I look forward to earning your business, and I am introducing you to our hotels, LeBlanc.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Marcy. Really appreciate that. Thank you. After you, madam. Our next sponsor that we want to honor today is, I've got my glasses on this time, Susan Barnes with KSL Resorts. Susan, would you come on up?
Good morning, Site Texas. How was last night? Was that fun or what? My feet are still hurting right now. I'm Susan Barnes with KSL Resorts. I'm your global sales director for the entire collection, which you see all of the logos that we have represented here. We have a unique and memorable collection. In the room today, we have one of our members, Paula Carlson from Margaritaville Hollywood Beach Resort. There's Paula. Who's been to Margaritaville Hollywood Beach Resort? Good. Well, if you haven't been, do yourself a favor, get yourself over there immediately. It's so much fun. So we have a beautiful collection. We have everything for, really anybody. We have experiential glamping opportunities in our Under Canvas collection. So hardwood floors, ensuite bathrooms, wood-burning stoves in America's state parks. We've got an adventure resort in the Poconos of Pennsylvania with North America's longest zip line. If you want to do some of that, we've got water parks there, skiing in the winter and water parks in the summer. The Sheraton San Diego and San Diego on the marina. And of course, we've got a brand new addition, Vispera Resort on Pismo Beach, which you can see on the bottom logo there. So we've got sand in your toes options with Margaritaville Hollywood Beach Resort, the entire Outrigger collection, which has Fiji, Mauritius, Waikiki, and Maui, and we're growing, so more news to come on that. We also have a beautiful castle in Scotland, 5-star, that's going to be completing a £115 million renovation and opening this summer. And then during COVID, we spent some money on renovating our Outrigger Reef Waikiki Beach Resort, $80 million renovation on that. So if you haven't been to Waikiki lately, come check us out. We'd love to show you the resort. And we're about to embark on an $88 million renovation of our Sheraton San Diego Hotel and Marina. So lots going on. We'd love to have you come visit any of the resorts. And I'm your gal, so please let me know if there's any questions you have. And enjoy our brief video. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. And now for our keynote presentation this morning, I'm honored to introduce a colleague and friend of mine, Beth Z. Here may be something you've wondered. Is there an app for that? Our next speaker has the answer. Meet your new nerdy best friend, Beth Z, author, speaker, and nerd. Since her first Motorola Razr flip phone, boy, those were the days, Beth has made a verb out of the word nerd. She's here to help you filter through thousands of apps, gadgets, widgets, and doodads to find the perfect free and bargain technology tools for work and home. Although the only real trophy she ever won was for making perfect French fries at McDonald's in high school, Beth Z has been featured on Best Speaker lists by several organizations who write Best Speaker lists. She has written a whole self-help book on apps and has spoken to more than 100,000 audience members. That's gigantic, just like you. And if you're puzzling over why she goes by Beth Z, it's because she only finds about 3 people a year who can pronounce her last name. Please join me in welcoming the chick who spent recess in middle school grading papers for her teachers. By the way, she spent middle school, high school in Allen, Texas, graduated with undergrad at University of North Texas, so kind of a Texan. Let's welcome our nerdy best friend, Beth Z.
All right. Hands up. Okay. When I count to 3, I want you to reach for your nearest mobile device and hold it in the air as fast as you can. I haven't gotten to 1 yet, people. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3. Didn't even take 3. Didn't even take 3 seconds. I bet it didn't even take a half a second for you to put your hands on those devices. Ponder this for a second. Oh, here we're pondering. Now we're pondering. Okay. It's going to ponder so much better. Hold on. It's going to ponder in just a second. Anybody willing to pretend this is going really well? Love technology. All right, here we go.
1 small step for man, 1 giant leap for mankind.
There's a little controversy about whether this is 100% true, but I read it on the internet, so it must be. Common thought says that the devices that are within 3 seconds of you right this very second, and probably 30 seconds of you at any given time of day or night, those tools are more powerful than the technology they used to put a man on the moon. So as I talk to you today about technology at this technology conference, I want you to remember that you have more power in your pants, pocket, rated G, sorry Joe, than has ever existed in the history of the world for professionals like us. All right, now that we have our phones next to us, not that you didn't anyway because you're waiting for me to be boring, let's find out who the real nerds are in here. I'm going to give away a copy of my latest book to the person who has the best app in the room. Who has the best app in the room? What is it? All right, gentlemen with the burgundy shirts, say it loud. Sir, look down at your shirt. Is it burgundy? Come get a prize, but you don't get to win. Come here. We're going to give you this, because you're so excited, I'm going to give you this magnet that says, keep calm and nerd on.
It's going to go on my fridge,
So that next time you won't volunteer. But tell me your app again, and then we're going to get a burgundy shirt guy.
The CVent app with the site tech itinerary.
The CVent app. Now, he's planted. Yes? But the CVent app, who loves it, who's using it, who's making use of it, who forgot to download it. All right. Burgundy guy, it's all you. Plant identification app. I love those. Is it called Plant Snap? Yep, I love Plant Snap. So Plant Snap lets you take a picture, and it even uses augmented reality to identify things. If you don't want to get Plant Snap, another great one is just Google Photos. There's a little button on there. It'll identify all kinds of plants, and especially poison ivy, which I didn't realize I was allergic to until I moved to Tennessee. Oops. All right, who else has the best app in the room? Yes. Blonde person, yes. Oh, gosh, I'm having trouble with this one. Cash Santa. Catch Santa. I thought it was Cash Santa, and I was really hoping we could try it out right now. So Catch Santa. So this is a game you play with your kids? Oh, how cute. That's really cute. I mean, he's identifying poison ivy, and you're helping children. So we've already got a good thing. Now, you had one. Vivino. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a drinker in the house. Vivino. Vivino is fantastic. It helps you find out all about wines, it helps you find out where the best prices are, and you can keep track of them. She's the one you should have been hanging out with at last night's reception, I think, because she knows them all. All right. Yes. So which app was that? Favor. Oh. And so she actually didn't have to go shopping. Excellent. I love the laziness apps. The convenient lifestyle app. All right, I had one over here. This guy, he's my husband's nephew, which means he's my nephew, but I met him when he was 30 or something, so I don't even know if you are 30, but 31, Andy Bigger. Andy, what is the best app in the room? Habitica. That is an app that is a to-do list that gamifies making better choices. And you made a great choice because that's his fiance right there. I know. Everybody clap for them. They didn't, my husband doesn't come to see me, and his nephew did. All right. One over here. Drizzly, yet another drinker in the house. Not only does Drizzly help you find alcohol, not only does it help you keep track of it, but it also delivers it to you. So it is a combination of drinking and not having to go anywhere and having it come to the house. Drizzly, I think we have a winner in the house. Drizzly wins. All right. Congratulations. Come on up. It's not cheesy at all. It looked very natural when I get that. All right. And Andy, you didn't get one because everybody's getting one for Christmas for the rest of your lives. So I've got a bunch in the garage. All right. Here is this session. It's called Powered Productivity, and this is all about all kinds of tech tools that'll help you be more productive. But the way we're going to play this game is not just me telling you about them. It's going to be a nerdy game show. What? You're like, what? It's early, Beth. I know. Okay, we're just going to play by tables. Y'all, I hope you sat next to smart people because we're going to be playing by tables. And the winner, the table that wins, all of y'all are going to get a pack of the big pack of apps. It's got 36 of my favorite apps and a cute to-go away. And we're going to be giving away some other things. So I hope you sat next to smart people. In addition, you also have something called Nerd Notes. If you don't have the little note-taking sheet, raise your hand. Andy's got some. He's going to pass them out. Those are to jot down if you hear something you like and want to take with you. All right, first question. This is just a voting and an honesty thing. I hope you're good at both. There was a doctor by the name of Dr. Gloria Mark, who was kind of the head of these types of studies. She gave Microsoft managers a task, and then she interrupted them. It was just a small interruption, like a 2-minute phone call or an email. How long after the interruption did it take for them to get back to the place where they were? Is it 3, 23, 53, or 103 minutes? And we just do it by voting. Who says, and we'll just do, who says 3 minutes, 23 minutes, 53 minutes, and 103 minutes? All right. Just keep track at your tables. Give your table a point for every person who said B, 23 minutes. Oh, I hear some trash talking that may be beginning between tables. That's good. We want that. All right, 23 minutes. Think about that and all the interruptions we have every day. We can't afford to keep getting tied up in that. So I'm going to tell you about some to-do tasks, and we're going to go up higher in functionality through these slides. Here's the most basic one, and I put Microsoft To Do on top, not because it's the best one, but because it ate the best one. It ate a tool called called Wunderlist that everybody loved. But the cool thing is it's integrated into our internet or our Microsoft infrastructure, which many of us have. Todoist was the favorite of one of my managers. She could not live without it. Just like Habitica, which we talked about a few minutes ago, that one is one that gamifies task management. Todoist actually gives you karma points for completing things, so you're kind of growing your karma, it says. And one of the reasons I like to come back to it nowadays is because about 2 weeks ago they sent me a note, and they already had a great free version, and now they added a whole bunch of functionality into their free version. Anydo always shows up on the list. Going up in categories, so that's your personal task list so you stay on topic. We can now go to project management. Task management to project management. And my favorite for project management is Trello. Anybody know Trello? Oh, I got some Trello fans out there. Excellent. So Trello is set up like a bulletin board, right? And on it are little cards. And it's little pieces of information that you can very quickly digest and rearrange according to what you need. So you have a bulletin board, you have stacks of cards, and you can say these are the things that we need to do, in progress, done. Everybody can see on the same page. You can assign tasks to other people, and you can keep track of the projects. A lot of us do what I call the spreadsheet and smile technique of project management, where you are keeping track of everything your committee, everything your group needs to do. Wait a minute, let me ask, how many of you have a life outside the office? Anyone? Okay, 5. How many of you are not going to raise your hand no matter what I ask you? I know you're in here somewhere. All right. So what these allow you to do is get rid of that spreadsheet where you're keeping track of things, and you don't have to write emails like this, like, hi, I'm waiting on you to sign that, and if you don't sign that, I can't do anything. Are you done with that? Question mark. Smiley face. That's the spreadsheet and smile method, and it's not very helpful for project management. So Trello puts everybody on the same page, helps everybody understand everything that needs to be done. Asana, I don't know, it's more powerful, wins more awards, but it doesn't have a pirate mode like Trello does, so I like the Trello. But Asana is also fantastic. Now we're going to get into an area of task/project management that is the next generation that is coming up, and startups have embraced this quite a bit. This one's called Notion, Monday.com. They're all these workspaces. They're not just tasks, projects, they're everything. Let me show you really quick. By the way, y'all get all the handouts, I'm gonna show you a place where you can text and get it right now, but you don't have to take all the notes, just jot down the ones you want. All right, so Notion is one that the startups right now have totally embraced, just like they embraced Slack a few years ago, and now Slack is everywhere, and Microsoft Teams is bigger than Slack was. But Notion is a workspace with the project management, the task management, notes and documents all in one place, and then it's that team wiki. This is where you hold pieces of information that only you know about your company, such as how do we handle a new contract, or where do we buy the coffee? If you didn't come to work tomorrow, everybody would fall apart unless you were keeping this institutional knowledge in something like a wiki. So Notion is one that people are really embracing in the startup world, and so that one's going to be the next big thing that everybody tries to emulate. If you would like to get these handouts and some other information, be on the newsletter list, because everybody loves a good newsletter, text the word nerd to 66866, or you can fill out your little form there. But that's where the handouts are too, and then they're going to send them out as well. Nerd to 66866. Iftitata and Zapier. Now, neither one of those are how they pronounce it. They call it IFT, rhymes with lift. But look at it, it's Iftitata. And Zapier, the reason I say that is because they call their little abbreviations Zaps, but it looks like Zapier, so why, I don't know what it is. So I call it Iftitata and Zapier. And smart speakers. All of these are helpful to you to get things done because they automate tasks. I use Iftitata all the time to create tiny little recipes that work behind the scenes for me. If it's going to rain tomorrow, send me a text message at 7 a.m. If I change my Facebook picture, change my Twitter picture. If somebody is finally using that hashtag that we paid a consultant $15,000 to help us come up with, you know the guy, then save every one of those in a Google spreadsheet so I can look back at them later. If this happens, then that happens. Your smart speakers can set up all kinds of recipes. My husband's a little crazy about turning off and on the lights in the house, right? So I actually have set up a little shortcut that says, Alexa, my husband is crazy about the lights being on in the house, and it turns them all off. Ironically, and both of us laugh at him, but that was supposed to be funny. Let's try it again. It turns them all off. Note to self. So I love these. Let me show you a little bit more on Iftitata. There are so many different tools in here. I usually just go in and I'm like, okay, I use Evernote, and I use Dropbox, and I use YouTube. What ways can I create shortcuts that take things off my list? So Domino's Pizza has one. See, oh my God, holy, Jill, I forget to turn off my phone, and I'm so, hold on. Hello? It's Iftitata calling, and with an automated voice that says, pretend this is a real call and get yourself out of this meeting. Because 3 seconds ago, I pushed a button on my watch that said, get me out of this meeting. Now that's funny. Thank you very much. Because in about 15 minutes, y'all are all going to have this figured out, and everybody's phone's going to start ringing. And you'll be like, oh, Beth, this is important. I'll be back, never. It turns out, lost whole audiences that way. All right. Let's see what else I have for y'all. Ooh, so I've been doing a lot of different things with all kinds of third-party video cameras when I'm doing virtual presentations, and people are always like, oh my gosh, Beth, how are you doing all those special effects? And I'm like, it's fantastic. I put together a 1-hour program on advanced Zoom techniques. And you're like, Beth, if I had 1 hour to watch advanced Zoom techniques, I wouldn't. So you can watch this, or you can go to a site called Videotickle. I think I am offline, which is fine. I'm actually going to get on there again. Videotickle, I'm not really sure. But what it does is you can go to any site, any YouTube video, and you paste it. And I set one up here. You paste the link to the YouTube video, and then it uses the closed captioning to create an article complete with screenshots. Did someone's life just change? Yep. I know, right? You have all those hours of things like, oh, I'm really going to watch that. No, you're not. You've got better things to do than watch all those hours of video. And so now it's an article I can just scroll through, and then I get to the part where, okay, we have some graphics on the screen. Beth, what is that? What's going on there? And then you can read about what's going on there rather than having to watch the whole thing. Yep, life's just changed. All right. Video, see, I don't know how to say it. Videotickle, I don't know. Next question. Y'all, this is crazy. Adobe every year, this was from the last one, they released the results last spring. Every year they ask consumers about their email usage. We are checking work email more than 3 hours a day and personal email more than 2, so that's 5 hours a day we're spending in email. Where are people checking them? Adobe had all these choices. Of these, which is the most frequent of this list? In bed, in the bathroom, while working out, or in a conversation? Oh, you forgot to vote, didn't you? All right, let's try it again. Who says in bed? In the bathroom? Oh, I am not taking a break with you people. While working out, in a conversation with others. Nor am I having a conversation with you, apparently. All right, so the answer is in bed. Give yourself a point for everybody at your table who says in bed. That's crazy. This means that we are going to bed and checking our phones for work email before we put our phone down on the nightstand. We are waking up and reaching for that phone first thing in the morning and checking our email. These are the top 5 just for fun. While watching something is 35%, while at a meeting, 33%, on the phone, in bed. There you in the bathroom, people, and you know the rest of you are fibbing because we've seen the other statistics. Now, this is a colleague of mine. She's an economist, and she does math when it comes to productivity. Watch this.
What did we do before email? Well, we actually worked. Did you know that the average American worker spends 3.1 hours per day on email? 3.1 hours per day wading through emails, and about half of them are just wasting their time. How much does this add up to? Well, if you do the math, that winds up being about 15.5 hours per week, or 20 full weeks throughout the year just on email. How do we be even better at getting through our emails, getting rid of the things we don't need, and being more productive? Stay tuned. Beth has the answers.
All right. She's good, isn't she? She's available for wherever y'all need her to go. Who has the most unread emails? Pull out those phones. You have them right there. Who has the most unread emails? All right, Nanu, how many you got? 27,000. You just made a whole room of people feel better about themselves. Yep. 20. She's marrying into the family, folks. She's not related. Okay. 27,000. Do I hear 30? Yep, there it is. 82,000 unread emails. Do I hear 100? Going once. He also has She doesn't want to admit it, but she also has 82,000. Do I hear? Oh, there it is. What is it? Oh, so here's the justification first, in case you're missing it. Go ahead. 111,000 unread emails. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. Come on up. See, the whole time she's like justifying this whole way up. She's like, listen, this is not what you think it is. How would you, well, maybe we're, hey, this will look natural. Watch this. There we go. All right, what's your name? Nancy. Thank you, Nancy. So let me tell you what I know about Nancy. I just met her. Nancy does not have 111,000 people who are trying to have events, and she's just like, I'm just not going to bother to get back to them. She doesn't have 111,000 friends who have invited her to a virtual party, and she's just decided, like, I've had enough of those virtual happy hours. She has 111,000 emails she cares so little about that she doesn't even bother deleting. And that makes sense because every single email you touch and consider averages 11 seconds of your time. So if you think about 111,000 emails times 11 seconds, that's a lot. That's a lot. Too many. Let me give you a couple of tools. This is one of my favorite ones. It's called Unroll.me. Unroll.me, there's a difference in the email world between spam and bacon, just like real life. Spam, we know what spam is. Spam is anything we don't want is spam. It's a legislative update we no longer need to read, or it's a really good offer from a Nigerian prince. Bacon is stuff we want, but we can't have every day because it just clogs everything up. Bacon is that legislative update we do want to read. It's those updates from your kids' schools about what's happening with COVID and what the new plans are. It's that Bed Bath & Beyond coupon that I swear to gosh I will remember to bring to my next shopping event so I can get 20% off my one regularly priced item. Yes? You don't want to get rid of those, but you can't have them every day because you get 17 a day. So what Unroll.me does is it goes into your email and it organizes things. Gets all of your subscription-based ones, not your real junk ones, but the subscription-based ones. You know, you walk by a Restoration Hardware and you're on their list, that kind of thing. So Unroll.me will put all of those in a row. And then you click, 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 click to unsubscribe. It does it all at once. And then you can choose to digest the other ones. So instead of getting those 17 bacon emails a day, did your life just change? I'm so glad we're here. Instead of getting the 17 a day, you get one with 17 headings. All right, this one is different. So in my newest book, I went through and I really tried out all kinds of different email tools. And this is the one I like the best for the kind of lives those of us who travel a lot lead. It's called Spike. Let me show you what it looks like. It's a chat-based email, So instead of having, when I am traveling, I have trouble when I look down and I have an email to write back because there's one line that I have to respond to, but there's header stuff and there's footer stuff, and it looks like a chore to reply and get to that one little nugget. So I almost always say, oh, when I sit down to do my email, I'll do them all at once rather than dropping them back. Now, I'll drop a text in a half a second, but an email, I just kind of need a forum. What Spike does is it transforms the emails into a look that looks like chat. So instead of having big, chunky emails, it's now coming in looking like a conversation. So instead of having a long line, you're actually, let me blow this up a second, you're actually looking like you're having a conversation. You can do attachments, you can do all the things that you can do in an email, but on your end, it looks like chat, and it changes the functionality of your phone as a communication device when you're on the go and getting email. All right. Let's see what else I have for y'all. I'm sorry, but your password must contain an uppercase letter, a number, a haiku, a gang sign, a hieroglyph, and the blood of a virgin. And according to your IT department, it now has to be changed at 6:02 a.m. every day. Email or passwords are the bane of our existence, yes? We do not do them well. We just don't. All right, I am going to give away another book. This time, to the first person, this is like, let's make a deal. This is, let's find a nerd. To the first person who can pull out from a wallet or a purse a piece of paper on which you have written the password you carry around with you. Somebody has the notebook. The first one with it in the air. It can't be a phone. It's got to be a piece of paper. Look, I see all of y'all reaching. Who's got it? Who's got it? Who's got it? Oh, Carla. You got it? Oh, you got it. Come on. Let me bring that. Come on up here. Is it just one? Or is it the notebook you bring around with you?
My father's password.
Oh, it's your father's password on a sticky note. Okay, let me go over the security system here. You're worried about your father's security, so you carry his password on a blue sticky note in your files.
I'm sick of having it to reset.
Is that? Yeah. Would you stay after class for me, please? Yeah, page 212 in this book. Read that. See me later, because we need to have a conversation. Worse than I thought. Yeah, use it as a. There we go. There we go. Well, here we have somebody dealing with things as well as we can, right? Let me check with our person. What time do I have till? Because I kind of don't want to leave. I have what? Oh my gosh, so fun. I love y'all. Okay, I haven't been out. You might not get me to leave. All right. Let me first ask this question. There is a guideline book for the US government that says if you want to hook into our systems, you have to follow these guidelines for the security of your system. The last time they revised this document, they made a major change in their recommendations for password management. According to the US government, what is the best practice of the next following practices for keeping a password safe? Is it to change every 30 days, to use complex passwords like changing an L for an exclamation point, all those kind of things, to create long passwords, or all of the above? All right, who says A? Use complex passwords, create long passwords, all of the above. I got you all. The answer is C, according to the government, creating long passwords. I feel the energy changing in this room right now. I feel the anger. There's some confusion happening here. You have messed up my entire system of thought, Beth. But here is the deal. Bad people know our habits. And a lot of the things we do, they have figured out. They've figured out all the things we do. If someone says, if your company requires to change every 30 days, here's what you do. You do, what's your dog's name? Give me a dog's name. Buffy Red, that's what I heard. All right. You do Buffy June 2021, Buffy July 2021, right? If the person who suggested we change the exclamation points, he's like, oh, that'd be clever, and he suggested it, he now regrets it because these are part of the lowest common denominator of things that bad people try. They just know what we do. So there are two things that the government recommends above all others. One is to create long passwords, and the other is to use a password manager. A password manager. All right. So I need a volunteer for the next little thing here, and I want somebody who has had an email for a long time. Like, is there an AOL, Hotmail? You've just had an email for a long time, you still kind of use it some. All right, you, come on up. You. Is it one that you're comfortable with putting in front of everybody, just the email? She says, as long as I don't have to remember the password. Yeah. All right, so what is your email? PMCC. PMCC. AIN. All right. At SBC Global. That's an old one. .net, yes? Yes. Okay, so this site is called, now hang out up here because we're going to see how in trouble you are with the world. This site is called Have I Been Pwned? It's like owned with a P because nerds don't get out much, so they made up yet another word, Have I Been Pwned? And you go here because they aggregate all of the data that is publicly available in the bad dark web area that we don't go to. It is out there, and bad people have access to this. So they put it here so that you know if the bad people have it. They're not releasing your information. It is released. They're just telling you what's out there. So I'm going to click Have I Been Pwned and see if you've been pwned. Oh, no! Yes, indeed, you have been pwned, which means that that email address has shown up in 8 publicly available now data breaches. And here's what they are. So Exactus, some of these are things that we had signed up for, and some of them were like scraping or aggregating or something that we had never signed up for. So Exactus, Lead Hunter, you probably didn't sign up for any of these. Online Spam Bot, Poshmark, I love shopping there, yeah. In mid-2018, River City Media, a lot of us are on that one. SC Daily Phone Spam List, now that's a fun one to be on. Verifications and Wanello. So what did they get? They got dates of birth, email addresses, employers, genders, geographic location, email addresses, passwords. Wow is right. So tell me, Pat, right? Yeah. Tell me, Pat, do you reuse Do you reuse your passwords anywhere? Like, do you use the same password for different stuff? Yes. When she stays after class with me, we'll just have a little mentorship, right? The problem is that if you reuse passwords in any way and you're showing up pwned on there, that means that your username password combo could, y'all are all, I know, checking, have I been pwned? Your username password combo are out there and they are using it to try in different accounts already, probably. So don't reuse your password, but I'm going to show you how not alone you are. So here we go. Congratulations to Pat. Yay. All right. Here I want to do something. And for you folks streaming at home, this is for you too. All right? I want everybody to meet my eyes. I don't have 4 eyes. Well, maybe I do. Ha ha. Middle school. Painful. All right. I want everybody to meet my eyes. When I count to 3, if you never reuse passwords and you have one unique password for every site you visit, I want you to maintain eye contact. If you ever reuse passwords, I want you to lower your head. All right? You at home too. All right. 1, 2, 3. Andy? Oh, I'm telling your mom. Oh, look at now. I've got 1. All right. The rest of you have now. Jill? Really? You've been to my sessions. The rest of you have now done the password look of shame. So, Pat, you can see that a lot of people are in this situation, but I swear to gosh, speakers say this, but I mean this. If you take nothing else from this session, understand that you need to have a unique, unguessable password for every single site you visit. The fact you should have to carry 75 Post-it notes for your dad with the passwords for each one of those, because they have to be unique, unguessable passwords. Even if you are doing something, you need to help other people do something. So I know y'all all went and checked your own, but check your parents. One of the things that I tell people is that we, the people in this room, are constantly exposed to this and constantly ignoring it. Yes? Like, we know what we're supposed to be doing. It's kind of like diets. Like, oh yeah, don't eat so much, right? Got it. We are constantly getting educated about this, but your parents and your kids, those folks are not necessarily understanding what the messages are. So check your parents. Check, by the way, your uncle, he's horrible. He uses one. I'll give it to you afterwards. You can get into all his stuff. So check and make sure. This is also a place you can put in your phone number and see if it's been caught up. Facebook just had phone numbers exposed. They were ones that were taken a few years ago, but how many of you have had your phone number for more than 5 years? So your data may be out there again. Just understanding that your data is out there and having a unique, unguessable password for every single site you visit, those are steps you can take. So yes, Carla. Excellent, excellent question. So this is not a subscription list. And if you are showing up on here, it means that your email was exposed in whatever kind of break. Whether or not it was exposed with visible passwords is another question. But if your email has shown up in here, it means that you have been exposed. So if you have a unique, unguessable password for every single site you visit, just change that one password. But if you don't, you could be in trouble. How many of y'all, I know many of you checked it, how many of you have been pwned? Quite a few of you, yeah. I have like 26 on one of mine that I had for a long time. So here's how to manage the passwords. I use LastPass. It's the last password you ever need to remember. You create one giant password and everything else sits in a vault. So everything can be really hard and really long. My passwords now are 32 and 36 characters. and they're so complicated, I can't even read them out loud. Like, if you were to say, what's your password to this? I'd say, okay, it's capital B, then little r, and then 3, and then it's a hyphen, and then it's that drunk hyphen, you know what I'm talking about? Like, it would be really hard for me to even read them out loud because they're so complicated. I do this and have a unique password for every single site I visit because I can use this. Now, another thing LastPass does is that all the people who work for me have to have the free version of LastPass, and I can share passwords through that without them having to see my passwords. Because I've had a couple of assistants go to jail. This is not good. Have you ever had somebody leave you and you had to run around trying to remember all the places they had access to and trying to get the passwords changed or whatever? You don't have to do that. You just unshare it and they never have it again. They never had it to begin with. So handy. LastPass is, everybody's mad at them because they used to be like free plus, and then they took away a couple of the free bonuses, and so now they're just free. And everybody's like, I'm not paying you the massive price of $36 a year. To save my own security. Forget about that. So everybody went to Bitwarden in replacement of LastPass. 1Password and Dashlane are also some of the top ones. I don't care which one you use, as long as you get to a place where you have a unique, unguessable password for every single site you visit. All right. Next category. How did the Pomodoro technique get its name? The Pomodoro technique. This is a tough one for some people. An Italian garden, a recipe for spaghetti sauce, or a tomato-shaped kitchen timer? Who says A, Italian garden? Spaghetti sauce. Kitchen timer. All right. Got a lot of smart people out there. Give your team a point for everyone who said C, kitchen timer. Kitchen timer. And here's what it is. The Pomodoro technique was an Italian person who had a kitchen timer shaped like a tomato, and when he wanted to get something done, he would set that timer for 25 minutes. Then he would look at his to-do list. Have you ever had a to-do list that's like just a big pile of everything in the world, from plan the next 7 trips of my life to eat lunch, all on the same list? And then you sit down to work, and all you're doing is like looking at this giant list trying to figure out what's going on. So the Pomodoro technique says take one task off your list and set a timer for 25 minutes and focus only on that one thing. During that 25 minutes, if the kids come to the door, the kids have to change their own diaper. If the dog starts barking, if the email dings, your phone's pinging and ponging and dinging donging, if any of that's happening, you're not doing it. You're taking that 25 minutes back of your day to do that one task. When the timer goes off, then you change the kid, then you let the dog out, then you check your email, run to the bathroom and do the other things, and then you set the alarm again and do another 25 minutes. This method used regularly will change your life. You will never be more productive than if you turn it. Anybody using this technique? Blocking out and being able to focus on that one thing at a time will change your life. There are a few apps that I like that completely grab the Pomodoro technique and another technique called time blocking. Time blocking is a very simple concept. You don't need extra technology, but what time blocking is instead of having that long list of things to do, you take each item and put it on a calendar. So instead of saying, I'm going to sit down and work, you say at 2 o'clock on Tuesday, I am going to write to 5 clients I need to contact. And so now instead of just needing to contact 5 clients, you have a time and a time period where you're going to do it. This, again, you're going into a time period with one thing on your plate, so you're much more likely to do it. Number 2, you're also figuring out how long things take you. Because we're distracted all the time, because we can't get anything done, because we can't get back into that deep work state, we have no idea how long some of these tasks take us. And this will help you define that. So time boxing and Pomodoro go hand in hand. And these tools, these two tools are new, and they both do the same kind of thing. So HoldX is one that incorporates the time boxing, incorporates the reward system, incorporates distraction management, and the Pomodoro technique, plus just task making. It also integrates with Asana to help you focus and get things done. I love that it plays with all of these gifts and gives you all of this encouragement. You had a question? So some of them. IT departments kind of hate me. So just be aware that sometimes I'm telling you things that you're either just going to have to sneak or not do. But some of these things, and the cool thing about a lot of these is that they're fairly new and they keep adding that functionality. They're either going to keep adding functionality or somebody's going to buy them and incorporate that functionality. So I think Spike does, I know it works with Gmail, I think it works with Outlook, and that lets you have that different look. It's the same email, it's just a different way that it looks on your phone. And HoldX is a personal tool that you would use. If you would use Asana, you can put it together. But it gives you gifts. It also tells you, hey, I know you're distracted by social media. We all are. And you can make a list of types of sites that you're distracted by, and it'll, during your Pomodoro, during the time you're supposed to be focusing, it'll block them for you. So it is very helpful. Now, we're coming up into a category, and I just downloaded another one, I haven't played around with it yet, where they're using, an error occurred. They're using an error occurring. It doesn't matter. We're not looking at that anyway, but they're using different artificial intelligence tools to figure out when best you should work based on your habits. So you say, I need to work out, and you try to find a time to work out. Well, it'll use your habits and your calendar to figure out a time slot to do your meeting or your writing. Carla, I know, right? Are you like, Carla's just now looking at the screen and shaking her head. Just all of it, all of it. All right, let me go. If you're blown away by that, this is going to change your world. Let's see. All right, I got 7 minutes. There was a writing error that cost a Maine dairy $10 million in a lawsuit. What was the writing error? A misspelled word, a comma, or an incorrect verb tense? Who says misspelled word, the comma, or the verb tense? Yep, everybody who got the comma is right. It was that Oxford comma in a technical contract. And because they didn't use, the Oxford comma is, I'm going to the store for milk, comma, eggs, comma, and apples. Like I'd buy apples. Chocolate. Milk, comma, eggs, and chocolate, or milk, comma, eggs, comma, and chocolate. Whichever school you're in, they left out that last comma before the and because of that, the court said it can be interpreted this way for the workers, and they got a $10 million settlement because of that one comma. Writing is critical, and there has become a tool, and I just discovered it about 2 weeks ago. I just gave the first demo on it, and yesterday I went to their offices and spent an hour with them talking about this technology because it changes everything. And I don't have a lot of time to do this with you, but I'm going to show you what it does. Who in here has an upcoming event that you might want to write a promotion for? All right, come on up. Yep, I forgot your name. You're very photogenic. You're about to be famous. Come on up. From yesterday. All right, so we don't have a lot of time to do this, but it's going to amaze people in the time we do have. This is a tool called Conversion.ai. It's using an artificial intelligence they have named Jarvis, and Jarvis writes for you. Yes, so what is the name of your event? My what? Oh, thank you. She loves everything about me. That's what she just said, in case you didn't hear her. All right, so tell me what it is.
It is basic procurement strategies.
Okay, so is it an online event? Yes. Okay. Webinar for meeting planners? Yes. Meeting professionals? Yes. That helps them
With elevating their planning process.
planning process and procurement strategies.
Correct.
Is it 1 hour?
At the most.
Okay, 1 hour, 45 minutes. Great speaker.
Of course.
Full of takeaways, right? And the tone of voice, we could do friendly, we could do witty, we could do excited. What do you think? We could do Oprah style.
Let's do Oprah.
Let's do Oprah. Why would we not do Oprah? All right, so I'm going to put generate AI content, and I'm going to click that. And what it does, Jarvis uploaded the internet in 2018. And because it did that, it writes things. I'll show you. Planning and procurement professionals, you've been looking for ways to make the planning process more efficient and effective. We have what you need. Join us this date. I know. Did you see what just happened? It is written. Look, it's on the screen. Webinar is perfect for meeting planners who are looking to improve their skill set or those who want to be able to do more with less time spent on planning tasks.
That is amazing.
Should we cuss? Like, oh, what? It gives us 3 versions. They're all important aspects, but do you know how to prioritize? What's the best way to play? What just happened? All right, I am going to give you the last book of the day for coming up here. And thank you very much. This tool, I'm going to do I know you've got 1,000 questions about this. I can't believe I left it for last, and I got a big finish, so we can't do any more. I will hang out for a few minutes to talk about this tool. I am going to do a class to teach people how to do this and get all kinds of tips. So if you haven't joined my newsletter yet or whatever, please let me know, because this is insane. I've never seen anything like it, and that's why I actually left my hotel room, which I never do, and went over to their offices and talked to them, and you've never had anything like this. All right. Is there a cost? Yes. The basic price of that is $30 a month. The bigger price is $109 a month for the bigger package. But can you imagine somebody who does that for you for $100 a month and just you put it in? And it's so much more. All right, last thing. When was selfie the word of the year? The answer is, just throw it out there and I'll tell you if you're wrong. 2013, you said, yes, indeed. Give yourself a point if you were thinking 2013. All right, selfie was the word of the year in 2013. People love to see themselves on screen, and you can take wonderful pictures of people and within minutes use a tool like this one called Majesto to make something like this. back to my hotel room after that. I made that movie in literally about 3 minutes, and I used the tool called Majesto to do it. It's now time for my big finish. Are you ready for my big? This was y'all's big finish. Now I have a big finish. But I'm going to hang out a few minutes. If you have some questions about that other stuff, please let me know if you need more information about what's coming up. And the winner is, oh, wait. How many points did you get? Holler them out. 3. Oh, what a table you were at. Oh. 13, 9. All right, and the winner is everybody outside there. There's a whole bunch of cards. Please take them. I told American I only have one bag on the way back, and I don't want to pay for the extra one. So, thank y'all for everything. Here's my big finish.
Our nerdy time is through, but Betsy is always here for you. Your nerdybestfriend.com.
Yay! Thank y'all so much.
Great job. One more time, Betsy, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, we can do better. We can do better than that. Come on, one more time, Betsy. That's what I'm talking about right there. Good job, Beth. Great job. Wow, what a great morning. Thank you so much, Beth. I'm telling you what, I've written some notes down, and I'm going to be implementing what you have talked about today. Very good, and it's great to see you in action. All right, we are now going to spend a few minutes with, I have my glasses on. It's Aoife Delaney. She is the 2021 Site Global President. This is a video from Ireland just sharing the kind of the future. Would you turn your attention to the screens?
Good morning, everyone. It is wonderful to be a part of the 8th annual Site Texas Tech Summit. The program looked fantastic, and I can imagine that each of you have had a really incredible time over the last couple of days. While I am disappointed not to be with you experiencing everything in person, this event is, of course, about embracing technology, so it is great to be able to be a part of it virtually. We are now in our 5th month of 2021, and I cannot believe how quickly the time has gone. Our entire International Board of Directors and International Board of Trustees are working hard to represent our association this year, and I want to take this moment to acknowledge their incredible commitment in a very difficult year. Both boards have devoted considerable time and energy in Q3 and Q4 of 2020 to devise a budget for 2021 that was, of course, realistic and accepting of the realities of COVID-19, but also opportunistic, challenging our executive leadership to find new revenue streams. Financially, I'm delighted to report that we are delivering in line with this budget, and now, thanks to an improved outlook around recovery within our industry, Site expect to overachieve on this budget in 2021. So with that said, Site really is in a fantastic place, and I would love to share a little bit more about where the association is at in 2021, thanks to active members and amazing chapters like yourselves. Hopefully you've been hearing us talk about the theme Build Back Better this year. This is a theme that really resonates with so many of us, as we are not about going back to business as usual. Our world has changed, and we are changing with it. Site is working hard to build back better in everything that we are doing, and that starts with you, our members. Within this theme, we have 2 key priorities this year: membership and fiscal stability. So, in everything that Site does this year, we will ensure these 2 priorities are at the forefront of our decisions. Does the decision that we make a positive impact on our membership and support a growing and engaged community? And is this decision fiscally responsible? Does it support keeping Site a strong association in place for many years to come? In April, we surpassed our 2021 membership goal of 1,500 members. And as of this week, I am delighted to confirm that we are at 1,730 members. We are truly thrilled with these numbers. We very much understand the difficulties that our industry continues to face this year, so having strong membership really shows the value that our members place on this community. An event that particularly showed the strength of our community for us was the Global Conference in January. Traditionally an in-person event, this took place virtually this year and attracted more than 800 registrants, which was our largest ever global conference. Now, while virtual is of course a part of how we all operate, we were thrilled to see ISA come to fruition in April. This was a hugely important month for SITE, as it was the first time in over a year that SITE was able to host an in-person event, and this took place in Aspen Snowmass. And ISA will not be the end of our live events journey in 2021. We have SITE Classic coming up in September, our Young Leaders Conference in Las Vegas immediately prior to IMEX this November, then SITE North America, and Incentive Summit Europe taking place across the pond this December. Dates and locations for this will be announced very shortly. And as we talk about events, just a few weeks ago, and in line with doing things differently and building back better, you will have completed a brand new event called SITE Night All Night. While our head of events to here may not want to be doing a 15-hour event every single year, it was hugely successful, with almost 900 registrants and a constant active base of over 150 members at any one time. Members stayed online for an average of 4 hours, which is a pretty epic commitment. There was one initiative that was launched during this event that I'd love to highlight with you, and this is Random Acts of SITEness. So a key element of SITE's purpose, as we all know, is reward and recognition, telling the powerful story of how incentive experiences can be transformative for individuals, companies, and destination communities. We also know how powerful it is to be a member of SITE and how valuable the friendships and connections that we have made are. Each month, we want to celebrate the truly strong connections that our SITE members have with each other by showcasing a random act of SITEness that they have put in place for another SITE member. More information on this initiative can be found on the SITE website, and we would love to see the SITE Texas chapter become leaders in this challenge and start spreading your acts of SITEness. So remember to document your process so that we can share with our wider SITE community, because we would love to showcase you. Another milestone moment for SITE that we've begun to work on is our 50th year anniversary. That's right, SITE is turning 50 very soon. 2023 will see this milestone event take place, and we want to make sure that we celebrate our association in style. A 50th anniversary committee has been formed and is working hard on coming up with creative ways to celebrate this milestone year for the association. I also wanted to touch on Young Leaders, a part of SITE that is very close to my heart, having grown up throughout my career within this program. 2021 is a particularly exciting year as it sees a Young Leader's voice on the board for the very first time, with the wonderful Heidi Dillon from 110 taking on this position within the board. This board seat now officially gives the Young Leaders a voice around the board table and ensures the success of SITE for many years to come. In line with the theme of this event, technology and digital transformation is also high on the agenda for SITE. We've invested heavily in digital transformation, and the first element of this investment will come to fruition early this summer, with the launch of not only a new SITE website, but a new way of doing things online. Our new website will have a really exciting new look and feel, and will be easily navigated through our event pillars: Connect, Learn, Discover, and Shape. This website will allow for easier transactions for our members, more quality interaction between our members, and better access to a plethora of educational content, so stay tuned. Our chapters are the lifeblood of SITE. I don't need to tell our chapter of the year and winner of both Excellence in Membership and Excellence in Education this. You guys know it. The activity support that our chapters have given to our membership is a key reason why SITE finds itself in the strong position that it is in today, and our entire SITE IBOD want to thank you for this. Innovations such as this Tech Summit, the Mice Talk 360 podcast, your strong Young Leaders support, and your sustainability focus make you the strong chapter that you are, and the reason why SITE is going from strength to strength. I am so excited to be able to see you all very soon in person, and until then, Slona Walia from Dublin.
Isn't Aoife amazing? So yes, she would have been in here in person, but travel bans obviously interrupted that opportunity. So it's now my pleasure to talk a little bit about our annual tradition of donating a percentage of our portion of proceeds from this event to the SITE Foundation. And so we are very fortunate to have Dana Weaver, who is a foundation trustee, a SITE Foundation trustee with us in the audience, and he's also a huge supporter of SITE Texas. So Dana, will you come join me on stage, please? And I'm also going to have Lauren Dunaway join me on stage. Lauren's our past president. So Dana, we would like to thank you very much. Oh, I'll wait. so Dana, this is just our first installment of our desire to support the incredible efforts of the Site Foundation. And we are very honored to present this honorary, we picked this amount, we thought it was cute, 2021. And so thank you very much for your support of us, and we have more to come.
Thank you. This really does help us build back better. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us. All right. And so, Mr. Jerome.
All right, we will have a couple of sponsors that we want to honor. Take a minute here to do so. I'd like to welcome to the stage Patricia Perez Sahin with Latin Plus. Patricia, come on up. Has she left the building? She what? Okay, so she'll be right back in. Well, let's go to our next. Is it okay, Todd? Can we go ahead and advance to the next sponsor there? And then we'll come back to Patricia. How about Ruben Perez? Ruben, are you in the house? He's here. Ruben is here with Discover Denton. I tell you what, Ruben and I got to become friends at Site Midwest Smart Summit in, what was that, Playa del Carmen, Paradisos. And man, he is one dancing machine right here. So you ever have an opportunity to dance with the man? This is a wild man on the dance floor. So Ruben, you're a rock star. Here you go, buddy.
Awesome. Thank you, Jerome. Good morning, everyone. So excited to be here. Have been excited since we were planning it and to be here, and it's almost over, and it's so great to see everyone. I need to ask a favor for everyone. Can you stop shaking and spinning? I've been seeing you guys move quite a bit this morning, and it's definitely you, not me. So Discover Denton, Texas. Has anybody been to Denton? Raise your hand. All right, that's great. Many people usually don't know where Denton is, and it's in Texas. It's in North Texas. And it's a little town that is not so little anymore. Two major universities there, home of the University of North Texas and Texas Women's University. And it's not just a college town. We have that too. But it's also a fun experience. One of the things I want you guys to take away from Denton is two things. Have you ever heard of Dallas? Dallas is a suburb of Denton. We're only 25 minutes north of Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. And we have some incredible imaginary mountains, some incredible imaginary oceans, but we have some authentic experiences that I really want you guys to all consider coming to one day. So one of the things that I really enjoy doing is talking to my friends, and I did that a lot over the past year. So I think Casimiro, a good friend of mine, and Brandy Ronk, about a year ago, we were at an event, and they said, can't imagine what life would be like without travel and without face-to-face meetings. And I said, me too. Well, we got to experience that and live it last year. And I will tell you, I hope we never go through that again, because life without travel, life without face-to-face meetings, I don't think it's life at all. It's not living. So glad that you are here. One thing I want you to do is think of Denton whenever you're considering an event, a meeting, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, a girls' weekend, bachelor party, whatever you can think of, believe it or not, you can have a great experience in Denton. You can also do some things that people don't even know, like fly a Marchetti S211 fighter jet. Well, not actually fly it, you can ride in it while somebody else professionally flies it. But you can also experience horse country. So North Texas Horse Country is one of the largest concentrated horse ranches of professional breeders that breed $5 million, $10 million horses. And when I got up there, I didn't think that was a big deal until I experienced it firsthand, and it was quite an experience. But that's just a little bit of the things that we can do. We also have some incredible, enchanting experiences, like really cool bars, a beer scene, craft brewery beer scene. We have an unofficial Bermuda Triangle that I would love for you to come experience. We have an incredible Denton Convention Center hotel that was built about 3 years ago. So without telling you so much more about Denton, I just want you to enjoy this video. But before that, just think about Denton when you're considering North Texas, because you can come and experience our small town charm and southern hospitality with big city amenities and diversity. Thank you for being here. Love you guys. Let's roll the tape.
Well done, Ruben. Thank you, sir. Great dancing with you again last night, buddy. And sorry the room's been spinning. That is you. It's not them. Awesome. Patricia, are you ready now to come forward? Let's welcome Patricia to the stage.
Thank you. Well, hello, everybody. Good morning. I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough energy to do this right after last night, so bear with me. But it was fun. You guys are a lot of fun. I'm so happy to be here in Texas. I have been in this business for many years, and this is the one market that I really never focused on, and I just realized I've been missing out. So my name is Patricia Sahin, and I am the founder and a managing partner at Latin Plus DNC Group. I have been in business for now almost 4 years. I have an amazing partner. Some of you might know. Her name is Maura Zhang, and together we launched this baby 2 weeks before the big disruption last year. And, you know, somehow we managed to grow our brand in the midst of a pandemic, and I couldn't be any more proud and more thankful because it happened because of the support of our clients and partners and friends. And also, because we represent some amazing DMCs. And today, it's gonna be all about Maritur, which is my top DMC. I mean, let's just say, Mexico is Mexico. And I remember somebody saying about all the challenges that we could face sometimes when selling this destination. And my theory is, I think Americans are just spoiled and so fortunate to have this amazing destination right next to you. And that's why sometimes I think we take it for granted. But the fact that it's so easy, that it's so close, doesn't change how amazing this destination is. And I speak on behalf of all the partners here who represent Mexico one way or another. And I am very fortunate to represent an amazing award-winning DMC, family-owned business, yet big enough so that you can trust that they are indeed a very, very strong partner. Maritur operates in all Mexican destinations. They're proud about Mexico. They're really proud about their heritage. They don't want to be anywhere else. They just want to be the best DMC in Mexico. And they have physical offices in Cancun, of course, where they have their headquarters now. They have offices in Los Cabos. They have offices in Puerto Vallarta. They have even physical offices in Mexico City, which a lot of my competitors don't. So that's just some of the highlights. But what I like the most about this DMC is that they really are not your cookie cutter DMC. And yes, we all provide transportation services. We all do kind of like the same thing. It's kind of hard to differentiate a DMC, right? When I asked Adriana Aburto to send me a video for today, she sent me their corporate video. And I said, Adriana, I love your video, but I'm not gonna run it. I'm gonna show these people what you can do. And there's a reason why Maritur is the in-house DMC for most of the luxury hotels in Mexico. It's because they can do things like I'm about to show you. So let's run this video. So thank you so much for that. Was that fun? I think this is amazing, but it's not just a video. Let me tell you a little bit about that program. So this was a product launch for Clinique, as you could see. And we did that in a place in the middle of nowhere, a protected area that is called Las Coloradas. It's a pink lake. We did not die. I know we're good, but not that good. The chemical that turns the water pink is the same thing that turns flamingos pink, because this is a big nesting area for flamingos. So imagine the permit, getting those permits from the government to set up this pink oasis in a protected area. So that was just one of many challenges, getting there. We flew 60 people, 35 of those very popular influencers, in like more than 8 helicopters from Cancun. They were actually staying at Unico. And that was also a lot of logistics to put together. Everything that you see there had to be on site at least 4 days prior. So we have to move all the suppliers at least 4 days prior to be able to set up these oases with inspectors from the government, making sure we're not messing up the environment, which is a very important thing for us. And it was a hit. We got more than 250 million impressions. Clinique was doing this in different locations around the world, and this was indeed the most popular. If you go to Instagram or any social media and you find the hashtag Pink Oasis, you will see some pictures by those influencers sharing the amazing thing they did. So if we could do that, think about all the possibilities. We could do anything, right? And that's the fun stuff. And yeah, we do transportation, we do all that stuff. It's boring, I don't want to talk about it. And we do it really good. We've been doing it for more than 40 years, actually. But yeah, I want you to think of Maritur when you want to do something out of the box, like that. So thank you very much. And this is where I'm also in the rest of Latin America. I want you to think of me as the Latin American queen of the MCs. So whenever you need help in Latin America, just let me know.
Awesome. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you very much. Well, now I'm honored to introduce the last sponsor that we will be celebrating today and showing our appreciation and gratitude, and that is my good friend, Brandy Ronk, with Melia Resorts and Hotels, and Carlina, I believe. Are you both coming up? Carmelina. Okay, well, it's spelled differently here, and I do have my glasses on. Carmelina, I'm so sorry. Come on up. Welcome, Brandy.
Well, hello there. How's everybody doing this morning? I learned at this conference that I am really out of practice, so I think I need to go home and every weekend spend a little bit more time sleeping, getting up by 8 and going to bed after midnight. So anyways, it's been so great to see all of you guys. Thank you, Site Texas Board and the Site Texas Committee who put all of this together. It has been an amazing trip, and can't wait to see where we go next. So I am so lucky to be here with my leader, Carmelina. And we thought about doing this whole big, long presentation for you guys, but then we thought maybe we'll just show a video. So cue the video, Todd. Thank you. So I thought that would just be a much better representation of what we do. I do hope you'll think of us. We have amazing properties. We have the most phenomenal food and the most amazing people at our hotels and resorts. And we hope you come visit soon. And if you want, I'll go with you.
So I would just like to say it's been absolutely amazing being here. Congratulations to the entire board for putting this event together. It has been absolutely fantastic. So what Brandy and I decided to do is it would take us a while to go over 370 hotels throughout the world in 4 continents under the 7 brand names that you just saw in this video. So what we'd like to do today is just bring up 10 very important points. And Brandy, you can share the news.
Sure. So we're going to do the top 10. We picked one destination last night.
One destination and...
One destination. So we picked Punta Cana. So who wants to hear about Punta Cana? All right, great. So if we miss anything about the top 10 reasons you should go to Punta Cana, just go ahead and holler it out. So Carmelina, why don't you start us off?
So we have number 10 on the list.
Yeah. You're going to do that one?
Go up on stage on the screen. So
All
let
right.
me see what that one is. I thought it was going to come up. There we go. Okay, so number 10 is the amazing golf. We have right in front of our properties in the Dominican Republic, in Punta Cana, we have the Cocotal Golf Course, which is literally 5 minutes away from our properties. Number 9.
Excellent. All right, number 9. Number 9 is our food. I just told you we have phenomenal food in Punta Cana, lots of great cuisine. So that would be my number 9. What's your number 8?
Okay, number 8. Our Stay Safe with Malia program, of course. So an amazing program certified by Bureau Veritas, so everybody can be safe in these new times. Number 7.
Number 7 is the adventure. You can do really cool things. You can go to Monkey Island. You can get on a yacht, and they will give you a spa day the whole day. You can go ziplining. You can do all kinds of really cool stuff. So.
Okay, number 6. Amazing places to gather. We have plenty of space, plenty of room, beautiful, large, plush gardens, and plenty of places to just gather around and have some fun.
Excellent. All right, one of my favorites is the culture, the Dominican culture, the warm, friendly people, the dancing, it's just great. So definitely a reason to come. Okay,
and number 4 is our wonderful rooftop at our level in the Malia Punta Cana beach. It's fairly new, and it's an amazing rooftop where you have these absolutely incredible views.
All right, for number 3, the beaches. That's it. They're gorgeous, they're beautiful, and we should all go there, I think.
Number 2, Brandy already touched up on this, but it's the amazing service, the smiles, the friendliness of everyone at the Dominican Republic, and just ready to take care of your every need. And then, number 1, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll.
Drum roll.
Let's hear
the
the drum
number
roll.
one reason that we should all go to Punta Cana is because the site board is allowing us to take this conference to the Malia Punta Cana Beach in May of next year. So thank you, Lauren, Todd, Laureen. So we will spend 4 nights and 5 days. Am I right? Yeah, 4 nights. We're going to come in a little bit earlier than we did on this one, and we're going to have just this amazing experience. Not the same experience we had here, but it's going to be amazing all the same. So I hope to see you all and welcome you to Punta Cana at the beautiful Malia Punta Cana Beach. So thank you all very much.
Thank you. We look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, I can't get off. So I have to stay on one. You're fine. All right. So I am so very lucky to be able to introduce my friend Jerome Wade. I met Jerome 2 years ago at my hotel in Paradisus Playa del Carmen, and he is the most amazing dancer, and he's got great energy, and he just, throughout the pandemic, you could call Jerome and you could still feel better. So I am so excited that he is going to be speaking here, and I think he's going to close us out. But I have to remind everybody that if you haven't danced with Jerome, you should, because last night we went out and he picked up some new moves. So thank you so much. Let me introduce Jerome Wade.
Awesome, thank you. You're a rock star. Yeah, thanks. All right, everybody stand to your feet. Let's bring this conference to a close. And for the next few minutes, I'm going to share some key insights to help you win in life and in business. All right, everybody, come on, stand with me. Let's fully activate our mind, our body, every part of who we are. Who's ready? Who's ready? Let me hear you get rowdy. All right, here's what I need you to do right now. 7.3 people, air high five. Don't actually touch. COVID, right? Don't actually touch. 7.5 and say, show me the money. Awesome. You can be seated. John was an amazing executive. He was leading a sales team that had had a long track record of success. John was winning in business. I mean, he was crushing it. He was at the top of his game. John was getting it done. He was making good money. His boss was happy. Everybody was happy. The problem was John was winning in business, but he was losing in life. And then there's Susan. Susan is on the other hand, she is winning in life. Great marriage, great kids. She's enjoying her life. She's influential in the community. She's doing a lot of good, a lot of social good, serving through her organization. But the problem was she was winning in life, but she was losing in business. The question I want us to consider today is, can we have both? Can we win in life? And can we win in business? Well, today we're going to walk through those key principles to answer that question, to give you very specific outcomes, very specific takeaways that you can immediately implement that will bring you lasting results. Here's what last year looked like for most of us. We got the notice sometime in March. It started happening. I was actually in a cruise in the Caribbean, a marketing cruise in the Caribbean in January when the rumors of COVID started rumbling. The tremors, we could hear them a little bit while we were on that cruise. It was interesting. Come back in February, business seems normal, everything seems fine. We're still hearing a little bit more about what's happening. And then all of a sudden, the world comes to a screeching halt. Our lives will forever be changed because of this massive global happening. But for us, this is where we were. And this is what I saw happen to so many people. It happened to me, and it happened to most of my clients. It happened to, I would guess to say, most all of us. We found ourselves struggling now with maybe some new experiences, some new feelings, some new emotions, because everything, I'm telling you right now, 2020 would have been the best year of my business, the best year of my life, and then all of a sudden, screeching halt. You might feel the same. I was in a fog. I'm like, well, where do we go from here? How do we move forward from this? At first, we're thinking this is a very short-term thing, and then it ended up not being so short-term. We're thinking, well, this just be a blip on the radar, and then it became controlling and consuming. It's a fog that we started leading from. It's a fog that we, as a community and society, were trying to navigate in and couldn't find our way through this, which led to frustration. Many of you, if you were like me, you were putting money into marketing, you were putting money into the next steps, you were putting money into the next movement to grow your interest, grow your influence, grow your income, and then all of a sudden, all of that investment just seems to have vanished. Frustration. But then it leads to fears because of the unknown. And here's where I still think there's a lot of people wrestling. They're either in that fog or they're in that frustration, or they're certainly in that place of fear because we just don't know. We've got good news this weekend, right? Not only are we together, but we got good news that they are, kind of relaxing the mask, mandate, and so that's awesome. And so that's going to open up some opportunities for us, but there's still some unknown. But let me tell you today, these are three things we have to deactivate in our life. Circumstances activated them for most of us, and we have to personally take responsibility and now deactivate these experiences or emotions from our story. There will be fog in the future, there will be frustration in the future, and there will be fear in the future, but we're going to change the way we look at it. Because here's the reality. This is what we want. We want to deactivate the fog, the frustration, and fear, and we want to activate these three emotions, these three experiences. And first of all, that is, we want to activate clarity. The second thing we want to activate is confidence, because once you have clarity, you can then have confidence, because now you kind of see your way through it. You may not see all the way through, but at least you see yourself far enough through it that you can take some confident, competent steps. Which then leads us to getting back to maybe where we were, and that's that stage of crushing it. And if you weren't there, we want to get you there. You see, and these are the three things we have to activate. So let me ask you today, where do you find yourself on this continuum? Are you below the line where these are some things you might need to deactivate, or are you above the line and realizing, let me activate some clarity today. And by the way, we're going to walk through some key questions here in just a moment that will begin to help you get clarity. The second thing is, from that clarity, is there's something we need to take more confident steps forward with. Then ultimately, let's get it to the place, personally, professionally, where we are winning, crushing it. We're winning in life, and we're winning in business. Now, I want you to see a couple of things here, because these are realities. There's 3 mistakes that I see so many people do. And this happens in the incentive industry. This happens with your clients. This happens really around the world. And here's what we've got to realize. We are leading in a new day today. We can all agree to that. Today is a new day. It's a new opportunity for us. And we've got to find better ways to get bigger results. We've got to look at life. We've got to look at leadership differently. And one of the gifts that COVID did bring us last year was that it opened people's eyes to start seeing life differently. That's why I think the incentive industry is going to be just rocket fuel as we begin to see people realize there's more important things than just getting the job done. But we've got to start doing things differently. If you're going to keep doing the things in the same way, you're going to get the same results, and today is a new day, so things have got to change. If you don't, this is going to be a massive mistake. It's going to be a lid on the life and the career, the business that you want to create. Here's the second mistake that I see so many people making. I've been there. I've done that. And that's when we start ignoring the truth, when we start ignoring the data, when we start ignoring the information, all of a sudden it misinforms us. When we ignore what we need to give attention to, it begins to misinform us, so it begins to mislead us, and we take steps in the wrong direction. We might be close to right, but we're still far enough off that it sends us in the wrong direction with the wrong results. Here's the third mistake that I see so many people making, and this is a massive one. It's this one right here. We're asking the wrong questions. Especially in the COVID world that we just came through, and still on the outside of it, fortunately, on the other side of this thing, we hope. We've got to ask the right questions, and the wrong questions led us to a lot of the challenges we had last year. Now we've got to start asking different questions, questions that get us to the future that we dream. So let's walk through a couple of things today and think through these and understand them. So this is the goal that I think anybody in this room would agree to. So you would say, and I'm going to assume that you are achievers, you're producers, you are people that get results, you're top performers, and this is the people that I love working with. I love working with organizations and entities and people that are just saying, listen, we want to produce results personally and professionally. We want to get to that place where the chart is always going from the bottom left to the top right, because that feels good. Mentally, it feels good. Emotionally, it feels good. Professionally, it looks good. And we have some way of celebrating and measuring the impact of our lives. I can tell you, for me, I found myself a number of years ago, I've launched and led numerous organizations, for-profit and nonprofit. Started them from scratch, bootstrapped most of them, and then led them to their success. And I've been at that place where I was at the top of my game. I was winning in life, and I was winning in business. I mean, it was a dream come true. I had, in our region, in our community, and even internationally, I had some influence, and I loved it. But the problem was, I started finding myself asking the wrong questions. I started finding myself making that second mistake, ignoring the truth. I started finding myself making the same decisions, making the same mistakes over and over again. The reality was, while I was at the top of my game, I started to lead myself to become a low performer. Now, it took a period of time. It wasn't just overnight. It wasn't instantaneous to where I was once at the top of my game. Then I found myself shattered. I found myself, my life shattered. I put my family at risk. I put my organizations at risk. I put myself at risk. You see, there's so many people that are pursuing success, but here's the challenge. They're not looking at both sides of reality. Can we win in life, and can we win in business? John was winning in business, leading forcefully. He was leading powerfully. He was leading effectively. Success in everybody's definition and standards. But he was losing in life. We could be like Susan, winning in life, but losing in business. Why can't we have both? We can, and the reality is we've got to understand some things today as we look at where we are. Now, I've created a little survey, so I want you guys to grab your cell phones today, grab your phones, and I want you to pull out your Chrome or your Safari, whichever you use for your search engine, and I want you to put into that URL, jeromewade.com, /pro, and we're going to take a quick survey right here. Now, here's what's cool about this survey is it's going to just give you some practical questions. They're kind of fun, but they're really accurate to help you identify where you find yourself in your success journey right now. And these are just simple questions. I want you to be completely honest. Now, you're going to give me a little bit of information here. I'm going to send you some information following up on this. You can opt out of it anytime, but take a moment, and I'm going to shut up because what's going to happen at the end of this survey is you're going to see if you're in the red zone, which is the danger zone. You might find yourself in the yellow zone, which is kind of the land in between, or you might find yourself in the green zone, which is the go zone. So let me give you just a minute here while you take this survey. So answer it honestly. And the first person that's done, I just want you to hold up your phone and face the screen towards me so I can see. On your mark, get set, go. All right, anybody's finished the survey yet? Awesome. Okay, good. We got some in the yellow. George is in the yellow. Excellent. Good. All right. Give yourselves another 15, 20 seconds here to complete the survey. So we'll see statistically how this group does. All right. All right, who else is done? Raise up your phone so I can see. Way in the back. Okay, awesome. Okay, hold it up so I can, okay. Awesome, fantastic. So I can see far, I just can't see close. That's why I misread Palaka. All right, good, thank you. All right, today let's just, by hands, show of hands, how many of you found yourself in the red zone? Your results found you in the red zone. Go ahead and raise your hand today. Nobody in the red zone? All right, cool. How many found yourself in the yellow zone today? All right, good. That's typically what I see. How many of you found yourself in the green zone today? All right, there should be several of you there. Okay, good, perfect. Here's what I want you to see about this. This just gives you a point of reference to identify where you find yourself today. Because for those of us, and there will be some in the audience and maybe some watching right now, that you have found yourself in that red zone, and don't worry about being in the danger zone because there will be times you will find the ebb and flow of life and leadership getting you there. Because it's a place that is not permanent, it's not perpetual, and it's not impossible to recover from. But then you want to move from the red zone to the yellow zone, which is that land in between where you could be teetering slightly on green, you might be teetering slightly on the red zone, but you're still in that place where you've got energy to move yourself forward. And then those of you in the green zone, that is a place that you can sustain, and it is a place that you can maintain. So let's ask a question today. Let's ponder this. I want to open it up for some insight from you. What do you think are the challenges that are influencing your pursuit of success in life and business? What are some of the challenges you're facing? What's that? Okay, just go ahead. Somebody jump in. The unknown. Can you be more specific? We don't. Right. And we want to believe it's going to come back, right? But then there's still the unknown is, will it ever? Or will it really? Or when will it? Yeah, excellent. So the unknown, that's a big one. Somebody else, what's another reason that might be influencing or impeding your success in life or business? Oh, exactly. Does that mean you have a smaller budget? Or does it mean that there's fewer staff, fewer resources? Absolutely, correct. So we've got to do the same amount or more now with less. Yeah, so resourcefulness is going to be a key strategy there. Good, thank you. Somebody over here raise your hand. Yep. Excellent. Absolutely. Again, resources is really a challenge there. And we're all going to feel that. Somebody else, what's another reason that might influence or impede your ability to create the life or success that you want? Somebody else. What's that? Say it louder. Getting back, yes, into some regular structure, system, routine. Absolutely. Somebody else, I think, mentioned something that I might have missed. Motivation. Just finding the motivation. Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Let's take a look at some things. There's a lot we could discuss to consider the question, but here's what I want you to see today, that the reality is that the biggest influence to your success of creating the life and business of your dreams, the greatest opportunity is the inner life that you live. You see, so many times in our organization, we're looking for better strategies. Smart move. Good business leaders look for the best strategies. They're looking for the best practices. Smart move. Smart leaders do that. But if that's where you stop, then you've only touched the surface on the opportunity of creating the best life and the best business that you can. You see, the reality is, if we're going to lead to the future that we want, winning in life and winning in business, where we have the life, family, health, relationships of our dreams, we've got the business, impact, influence, and income of our dreams, we have to look at the inner life. And see, and all too often, this is where we spend the least amount of time. It's where organizations spend the least amount of money when they should be spending a significant amount of money investing in the inner life of their people, in the inner life of their team. So let's take a look at some things today that I've observed through the years and have experienced myself. These are the things that will derail your success. These are the things that will influence you or impede you, that will limit what you want to create. The first one is an unhealthy mindset. Now, a number of years ago, if you've read any about my bio, I'm an adventure junkie, an adrenaline junkie. I've done lots of adventures. I'll share a little bit of those with you today. But a number of years ago, we were setting out to kayak the entirety of the Grand Canyon, about 260 miles. Now, my son was 14 years of age at that time. He's now 24, so this was a decade ago that we were doing this. And I can remember that spring as we prepared for the summer kayak down the Grand Canyon. Now, it's 260 miles. It's about a 20-day expedition, and we're getting ready for it. But that spring, the rains and the snow were just incredible in Colorado. The river that flows through the Grand Canyon is the Colorado River. So the Colorado State, where we now live in Colorado Springs, snow-packed, amazing spring. Well, that created the waters to rise. And in fact, it rose the river of the Grand Canyon more than twice its normal volume. Now, I had been watching the river, and I'm a fairly experienced kayaker, safety boater, and so I knew what I was doing. However, I started seeing the water levels rise, and as the water level rose, so did my anxiety. For months, I'm looking at this. For months, I'm battling with, I've got to watch out for two 14-year-old kayakers, plus we've got 3 rafts going with us, and so are we going to be able to do this? And so for the months leading up to that, I allowed myself to drive myself into that place of stress, into that place, that fog, frustration, and fear because of an unhealthy mindset. One of the things that'll be key as we move forward from the COVID world and now into the post-COVID world is we've got to make sure we focus on a healthy mindset. And that mindset simply is, how are we looking at things? How are we perceiving things? You create a healthy mindset by how you look at it and by how you see it. You choose to see it in a certain way. You have a bent. You have a bias. And so the choice that we have to make here to create that success, to create the business, is to make sure that we understand the inner life is so important. It starts with a healthy mindset. Here's the second reality that we have to look at today of the inner life, and this one is significant, and it's unknown motivators. I'd taken a group of executives into the jungles of Guatemala. We were rafting the Cahabon River. This was an incentive trip for them, and so it was an exciting time together. And I remember this one executive from Canada. His company was worth over $100 million. We were talking on the river, and as we floated down the river, one day we stopped for a break. Now, I have an uncanny ability to take a nap. I can take a nap anywhere. I'm a high-energy guy, but I can shut down for just a few minutes and then pop right back up. So I laid down on this pile of lava rocks. My body is distorted. There's nothing comfortable about it. There's nothing, that just would look like, hey, that's a good place to take a nap. So I laid in and I'd take a nap. I don't know. I was out maybe 7 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. I wake up. I'm ready to go for the day. And this executive comes to me and he says, Jerome, I'd give anything to be able to sleep for an evening just like you slept on this lava rock. How did you do that? You see, what was motivating him was his fears of his company. He had success, winning in business, but losing in life. He had these unknown motivators that he hadn't identified that were driving him even further into his fear and into, ultimately, his fatigue. Here's another reality that we have to look at. So we have to go from that unhealthy mindset to a healthy mindset, from unknown motivators to known motivators. When you have known motivators, you're very intentional about what you are allowing to motivate you. And thirdly, this one is huge because this one is the lion's share of what's impeding or limiting the life and success you want to create, and that is the unresolved issues. You see, every single one of us have them. We may not identify them, may not want to identify them, but we have them. I mean, every conversation I have when I'm working with an organization or working with an individual, I walk into that story. I want to hear the story. Share with me the story. I want to know the story. What's the backstory? Because the backstory informs us. It educates us. There's so much that it tells us. So as we sit down and we hear the backstory, we begin to understand what's happening. One successful lady entrepreneur, she was sharing with me, and all of a sudden she broke down in tears. I said, I need to know some things. I said, I feel like there's some things right now that have unraveled in your life or in your success, and let me just ask you if we can, have a moment of transparency and trust. Talk to me about this. And all of a sudden, tears just started flowing from her eyes. And she said, Jerome, she said, I've never been able to live up to my mother's approval. Her mother had been dead for a decade. I'd never been able to live up to my mother's approval. Others that I've talked to, it was a relationship that went wrong or a business deal where they put all of their eggs into that basket. They invested everything they could, and it failed. They had to start over, or it was a marriage that failed, or it was something they did to derail parts of their life or parts of their career. See, we all have those unresolved issues. You see, when we start dealing with the inner life, that's where we create the life and the success that we want. I want us to look at some things today. Remember, I told you one of the biggest mistakes people are making is they're asking the wrong questions. Here's the right questions that I want you to consider today. The first one is this. Now, Kyla, where are you? She's here. She was here. Oh, there she is over here. Her husband right now is on the Appalachian Trail. Is that correct? Okay, so while on the Appalachian Trail, these are 3 questions that I started pondering. This was, 6, 7 years ago. I want you to think about these 3 questions. The first one I want you to consider, and you might want to write this down because this isn't a question you can just answer in a second. The question I need you to answer today is, what are you chasing? So to win in life and to win in business, you have to know the question or the answer to the question, what are you chasing? If you're chasing the wrong things and it doesn't lead you to the life that you want, then you need to know that. If you're chasing what isn't really success in business, then you need to know that. And here's 3 things I want you to see that are very important. When you start asking this question, you ask the question, what am I chasing? And you start looking at your attention. What has your attention today? Somebody speak openly right now. What's in your mind right now that has your full attention? What are you dealing with today that has your full attention? Somebody be honest right now. Family, absolutely. Sure. Thank you for being so, I liked it. Good job. Somebody else, what has your attention today? Health, absolutely. The growth of our industry, how can it not, right? Jerome has my attention. Thank you, Ruben. A lot of love to you, buddy. First step here, when you're answering this question, what are you chasing? You have to look at where your attention is focused. Right? What's getting your energy? What's getting your effort? And if it's the wrong things, or if it's things that are unhealthy, right? Or the unknown, or the unresolved, it's going to direct you in the wrong direction. That's why that healthy mindset is so important, so that you can direct it in the right direction. What's got your attention? I know for me, when I was at the top of my game, but then I started realizing I was no longer winning in life. Might have been winning in business, but I wasn't winning in life. I had to come back and answer these questions. Jerome, what are you chasing? Well, let's look at what has my attention. And I realized I had put my attention on the things that weren't that important. Because it isn't the bottom dollar that matters. There's so much more to the equation. The second thing I had to do is I had to realign my priorities. I had to take a look at things and say, listen, my kids were very important to me. My wife is very important to me. We've now, this summer, we'll be married 31 days. And by the way, the auction item we won last night, we're going to celebrate our 31st anniversary at that resort. So we're looking forward to that. By the way, I told my wife last night, I said, babe, I got you something so cool. And she says, what is it? I said, not surprise. You don't get to know until you get on the airplane. And she's like, wrong. Can't do that to me. But I'm going to do it to her. But I had to realign my priorities. So if you're going to win in life, you're going to win in business, you have to have the aligned priorities. Not everything is a priority. You have to know what matters most. And I can tell you this, one of the biggest shifts that I had to change at that time was I had to start focusing on taking care of me, because I was taking care of my business. I was taking care of my clients, kind of taking care of my family, and not taking care of me. I had to realign the priorities, take care of me, then take care of my family. Because the thing that I realized is that when I can take care of me, I have more capacity to give. I have more capacity to love. I have more capacity to lead. I have more capacity to bring transformation when I take care of me. I have more capacity to love my kids. And now I've got adult kids. My son's 24, my daughter's 27, and we have an amazing family dynamic. Aligned priorities. Winning in life, winning in business. Third thing I had to realize is that I had to redefine success, because for me, I liked success itself. I'm just wired like that. I like to see results. I like to see the numbers going in the right direction. I like to see growth. I like to see movement. I like to see things, kind of getting closer to the target. But the problem was I had a bad definition of success. I had to redefine success. So for me, success changed. Success wasn't about a number. Success wasn't about a position. Success wasn't about, so much things that I could quantify on a data sheet. Success then changed to me to redefining it to significance. So now I live my life with the intent, with the mission of how can I transform as many lives as I can for the rest of my life. And I'm on track. My goal is to influence 1 million people. So let me ask you today, what are you chasing? What are you chasing? What's got your attention? What are your priorities? And how do you currently define success? Here's something else I want you to think about today. The first question I had you consider was this: what are you chasing? The second one is this, massive question: what's chasing you? So I talked about unhealthy motivators, right? Unhealthy mindset, unknown motivators, and unresolved issues. Oftentimes it's the thing that's chasing you, that's driving you, that can derail you. It can misinform you, and it can mislead you if you are unaware. So the first step in this strategy here is for you to identify what it is that's chasing you. Now, I'm a child of adoption. Some of you may have heard me share a little bit of this story when we were in Playa del Carmen at Paradisus a couple of years ago. But I'm a child of adoption. When I was 1.5 years of age, I was adopted by an amazing family, the Wade family, Ray Wade. My adopted father became my best friend until the day he died 24 years ago. The most important and influential person in my life is my dad, still today. And I can remember all of those times my dad's sitting on the back swing, and we'd under the cottonwood tree in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and the beautiful southwest skies, and watching, the satellites go across the skies. And my dad would just share with me, and he'd say, "Jerome, what are you dreaming about?" We talk about the future, and I was young, I was just a boy, and he instilled in me the idea and the mindset of being a dreamer. So we'd sit under those starlit skies and talk. The problem, though, as I grew older, I would come to realize, and it wasn't until I was 43, that what I was also motivated by, what was chasing me, was my adoption when I was 1.5 years of age. That I was dealing with rejection and abandonment. That I was running from. I had this fear of rejection, so that's why I would pursue so much, and that's why I would ignore some things, and that's why I would ask the wrong questions, because I had this thing chasing me that I hadn't identified yet. And the first step you have to take is to identify what that is. I want you to think about that today. What is that for you? What's chasing you? For a lot of people, this takes a big step of courage, because it might be something you've tried to hide. It might be actually something hidden. It might be something certainly embarrassing, uncomfortable, awkward. We're not going to talk about it publicly, so this is just you. But this is one of the most powerful transformation that takes place in the life of an elite producer, is when they identify what's chasing them. The first question we ask, what are you chasing? Not too difficult of a question. It does take a little bit of time. This one is a much more difficult question, because this deals really with the deep heart issues. What's chasing you? Past career failure, past failed relationship, some trauma, some drama, some unjust actions that somebody took against you, maybe in your childhood, maybe in your adulthood. What's chasing you? The first step is to identify it. The second one then is to reconcile it. And this is what's powerful. Last night I was talking with one of the young ladies here, and she was sharing with her stories. I was like, that's a really cool story. That is so great. She talked about her transformation over the last few months and what's going on. And I said, man, this is so great. And I said, you know, what you've been through is, there's a powerful story behind it, because what you've been through now is a gift. And when I look at all of what I've been through in my life, even my adoption, I realize now that I can give people a gift that from my pain and from my darkest day, from my failures, from my mistakes, from those worst moments of my life, I can take that as a gift to give to other people. And that's exactly what I do now as a speaker. So I have a gift to give. And I want you to see this today, that your worst day, your worst nightmare now can be the greatest day. The darkest day can be the brightest light. And how you reconcile that, and these are powerful words. And by the way, I've got a couple of books to give away today. If somebody wants a book, I have some at the table today. I talk about this in the book, where the way we reconcile the issues of our past, there's 5 powerful words. Do anybody know what those powerful words are? 3 of them you know. Let it go. Too easy, right? How do I let it go when they fired me? How do I let it go when we wrecked ourselves financially? How do I let it go when powers outside of my, control made decisions that ruined everything? Many of us could say that this last year. How do I let things go when they did, or he did, or she did, or they did, whatever it was, life happened? How do I let it go? But that's exactly what you do, because it's a gift you give to yourself first so that you can give it to others. You let it go, and then the last 2 words are move on. We have to leave that stuff in the past. We have to leave the pain and the problems of the past. This right here is one of the most transformational steps you can take. When you answer this question, what's chasing me? Let's identify it, be honest, even with pain, and then let's reconcile. I'm going to let it go. I've been waiting for an apology. I've been waiting for them to make it right. I've been waiting for justice. Stop waiting. You don't need it. Because if you're going to wait, all you're doing is waiting for the success in the life that you want. And then here's the third step that is so important, and then you have to monitor it. Here's a cool part of my story of adoption that didn't happen. Those of you that might have heard the story before, is that just this year I spent Christmas with my blood family, my biological family, my biological mother, my biological sister, my biological nieces and nephew. And it was an amazing story of redemption. It was an amazing connection with my biological sister, who for 53 years of my life, we haven't had much of a relationship. We had a couple of conversations, but different stage of life wasn't there. But now there was all of a sudden this deep longing for both of us to know each other. And now I have this amazing sister in my life, right? Amazing nieces and nephew in my life. But I can tell you this, I still have to monitor the fears of rejection and abandonment. Because standing in front of audiences as I do, it's easy for me to walk from where I sit to the stage and say, will they accept me today? Will they like me today? Will they love me today? But as I reconcile it, I identified it. I'm not going to live with those fears. I'm not going to allow those fears to control me. I'm reconciling whatever has influenced that behavior. And now I monitor it, because I never want to be in that place again where I lose sight of winning in life and winning in business. So here's the third question I want you to think about today. The first one is, what are you chasing? The second one is this, what's chasing you? And then here's the third one, what's the life you want to create? Somebody shout out real quick, what is it that you want out of life? Somebody share it with me. Come on, let me hear you today. Live for them. Nothing wrong with that. I like it. Live for them. You did some of that last night. I saw you at the party. It was awesome. It was a what? All right, somebody else. What do you want? Global travel or local travel? Global. Yes, I hear you, for sure. I'm a global traveler. I'm a global adventurer, and I'm so ready for everything to open back up. What else do you want? Peace, healthy, absolutely. What else? Happiness, what else? Work-life balance, sure. Awesome. See, this next one is a powerful question because this ultimately is what drives everything else. But this is often the last question we ask. We know what we want in business. We have a plan for it in most organizations. We have a sales plan, we have a marketing plan, we have a business plan, and we know what we're really wanting in business. But when it comes to answering the question of life, it's general. What do we want? What is the life you want to create? This is my adventure dog, Joey, and the foothills of Albuquerque when we lived there. And a number of years ago, my wife and I started answering this question, asking it and answering it. And by the way, COVID required us to rethink this question. So what happened a number of years ago is that I decided that I knew the future that I wanted to create involved adventures, global travel. I took this video standing at the feet of Mount Everest. I'm standing at 17,000 feet right here. This is the Khumbu Valley in Nepal. Right there is the Primori Peak. The ridge you see in the background right there is the Tibetan border on the other side of that. And to the right, as you see in the cloud, that's Mount Everest. Looks like Mordor from Lord of the Rings. But it's one of the most amazing experiences of my life. And I've done a lot of adventures. But I can tell you today, you have an Everest adventure in you. Now, it may not be to stand at the feet of Mount Everest. It may not be to summit Everest. I have no desire or need to summit Mount Everest. It's become so commercial to me these days, it doesn't mean that much to me, but I can tell you, you have your own Everest. What is your Everest? What is it that you want to create in life? How do you want to achieve it? What is it specifically? I want to share a short video with you. Check this out. So we're walking into Lukla, Nepal, at about 9,500 feet, just under 9,500 feet. Just finished our trek to Everest Base Camp and back, so it's a round trip. I don't know what the mileage is. I don't know what the kilometers are. I don't know what the altitude gain and loss is, but it was freaking awesome. So now we chill out, hang out in this little village tonight of Lukla. Tomorrow, hopefully, our flight is able to get out so that we can get back to Kathmandu for a few days of R&R. This is Romy. I'm going to bounce. This was epic. And it really was. And what was interesting, we had to stay there another 3 days because of the storms that came in. And finally flew out in an adventure helicopter, which was a perfect way, like flying through Jurassic Park. It was so cool. That's how we got out of there. But what adventures do you need to live? What adventures do you need to experience? What life are you trying to create? And this is where we have to move from generalizations to very specific objectives. What is it in life specifically that I want beyond I just want to be happy, healthy, and having fun? Those are great answers to the question, but they're not enough. What specifically, and that's why that question is so important. It really becomes the bedrock, and when you answer that question, now you can begin to win in life and in business because you know exactly what you're pursuing. My next adventure takes place a week from today. I will be joining a group of people to do what's called the rim to rim to rim of the Grand Canyon. It's about 45 miles, 22.1 one direction, 22.1 back. So we start at the south rim of the Grand Canyon, descend 5,000 feet, a mile down, and then we ascend another 6,000 feet up to the north rim, spend the night, we come back 6,000 feet down, and then ascend another 5,000 feet up to experience it. Now, this is something that I've always dreamed of. Since I kayaked 260 miles of the river, I've always wanted to do this. You see, for me, I'm going to continue to pursue those adventures. What adventures are you pursuing? My wife and I this last year, when we were dealing with COVID, and it was about this time in May that we decided, we saw kind of the writing on the wall with COVID. We saw some limitations coming, and as you know, our business is built on the event industry. We have consultancy and clients that we work with outside of events. So we still had that part of our business, but the events themselves shut down. So we decided to jump in our RV, and we spent 7 months out of last year traveling 18 states and 12,000 miles. We had a blast from the Canadian borders of Montana, Glacier National Park, all the way down to Key West, Florida. We saw everything, and we loved it. It was so much fun. And this was what was also a blast, is we had Joey the adventure dog with us to share it. But my wife and I had this unlimited time together. And the reality it wasn't just COVID that influenced us. We kind of had the worst year of our life. Just a few months earlier, my father-in-law passed away, and we had adored him. My wife obviously adored her father. I loved him. He was a great man. Months before that, her mother had just come through breast cancer. I was in the middle of dealing with my own family issues, with my mother slipping into severe dementia and all of the drama that creates. What would have been the best year of our life in business ended up being the worst year of our life, and then all of a sudden, COVID decided to slap us up against the head. But we decided to answer a question, and this was the revelation for me this last year, and it was very simple. I want you to see this statement that I came across. I don't know if you know the comedian Bert Kreischer. He's got a little program online called The Cabin, and he just writes this statement, and it says, life isn't about understanding yourself. And I thought this was powerful. Life is about creating yourself. Wow, what a shift. Because so many of us are trying to we're trying to understand ourselves. We're trying to make sense of the life that we've lived instead of creating the life that we want. Is anybody hearing me today? Right? We're trying to make sense of the life that we lived instead of creating the life that we want. And I want you to see the direction. This is forward. This is backward. If you are continually trying to make sense of the past, you are spending way too much time on the future you should be creating. It's taking you away from the life that you want. The past is important. It informs us. It has created us to whom we are today. It's important. We respect and we honor the past, even the dark spots, the pain, some of the agony we've gone through, even that year of COVID that we've been through. And we look to the future and we say, all right, that is what it is. It's in my rearview mirror, but I'm going to create the life that I want. Instead of trying to just figure me out, I'm going to create the best version of me. And when this hit me while we were traveling the U.S., I was like, this is the most powerful thing because it's so simple. And it answers the question, what is the life I am creating? What am I doing here? If life is not about understanding me, life is about creating me. And here's what I do believe. You can create the best version of you that you want. You can become the person you've always dreamed you can be, that you should be. I want you to look at a couple of things here. This is a simple process. I want you to think through this. So, there's three parts of our life right now. Here's the first part of our life, and that is the former you. That's pretty small on the screen, but that first little dot on the far left there says the former you. That was you yesterday. That was you 5 minutes ago. That was you last night, but we won't hold that against anybody. Right? That's the former you, and then now there is the you now. That's who you are today. So the former us is everything we've been in our past, whoever, whatever, wherever. But then there is the you now. It's who we are today, but hopefully you've got a greater version, a greater future that you want to create. And here is something that is so important. If life is not about understanding ourselves, life is about creating ourselves, then we have to go from the you now, where we are today, to our greater self, and we have to create that. So if we want to increase ourselves, we have to become a greater person. If we have greater dreams, and that's why bigger dreams are so important, because they require a bigger version of me. My vision, my dream of impacting 1 million leaders around the world, that's not a small dream. I'm sure there's plenty of people who have done it in the past, but I haven't yet. I'm at about 100,000 plus and counting. So I've got 900,000 that I still need to go to impact, but I can't do it if I stay the same, if I keep doing the same things. If I stay the small version of me, I can't do it. I cannot accomplish this dream. I have to grow. That's why a dream is so important. That's why big goals are so important, because you have to become big. You have to become greater. You have to increase your capacity so that you can lead at that level, because leadership at my greater self is much different than my current self. So how do we get there? Here's three things I want you to see. And first of all, it's all about becoming, the bottom left-hand word here. You have to become your greater self. Now, this is going to kind of sound kind of goofy, but a couple of years ago, I was sitting in a hot tub in our house in Albuquerque when we lived there, and it was nice and cold. It was in January, early February, and I just was having a moment of just silent solitude, kind of a meditative moment. And I had almost a vision of meeting my greater self. I literally could see, I had a vision, I could see my greater self, and it was almost like Jerome, the greater version of Jerome, was reaching into the hot tub, and he was inviting me. So Jerome, there's a greater life here. There's a greater self I want you to embrace. And I had very vivid experiences with that person for just a brief moment, but it was enough that it changed the game for me. It was about who I am becoming, because if you're not becoming, you are not growing. If you're not growing, you're wasting. I want you to see this. Here's the first thing. For us to become from the you now to get to our greater self, we have to start agreeing with that person. We have to convince our brain that we must become that greater version and not become that greater version, that greater person. We have to, and not only do we have to, but we can. We have to start agreeing that, you know what, I can be that greater person. I can impact 1 million leaders around the world. I can grow the life that I want, create the life that I want. I can grow the business and impact and influence that I want. I can do it, so we start agreeing with it, and so many people are in disagreement. You see it, but then you justify it. Then you start saying, yeah, but I can't. Or this is why it won't happen. Or this is why it's impossible. Man, I'm telling you, my frustrations, my radar goes off when I'm sitting with somebody and they just start justifying how small they are, how big they can't be. And this has nothing to do with ego. This has nothing to do with a pride and this ego trip trying to create something that just shines the light on us. This has everything to do with our capacity in living that greater life. Do you agree with your greater self? If you're in disagreement, it's going to limit. Can you see it? Can you believe it? The second thing I want you to see here, it's not only about agreeing, it's about aligning. So once I start agreeing, I'm coming into agreement with my greater self today that I can, I will, and I must become that greater person. But the second one, then I have to align. Now, alignment is all about my personal behaviors. I start aligning my behaviors with my greater self. What would my greater self do? How would my greater self behave? How would my greater self respond? And then the third thing that I do is that I act consistently with my greater self. So my you now is actually my you tomorrow, because I'm agreeing, I'm aligning, and I'm acting. So as you start creating the life that you want so that you can win in life and you can win in business, that you can create whatever level of influence and impact and maybe even income that you want, that you can create the environment or the world that you have dreamed of, I want you to think through these questions. I want you to have moments of conversations with yourself and think through them. Looking at these questions we looked at today. What are you chasing? What's chasing you? What's the life that you want to create? Here's what I want you to do right now. Everybody close your eyes in the room. And I want us for just a second to think through what it is that we really want. And I want you to go beyond the superficial things of like a really cool car or a really cool house. Those are important. But I want you to think about the future you really want. What does it look like? And I want you to go into a present tense, not just as a future tense, but I want you to go into the future, but be present in the future as if you're already there. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What are you experiencing? What is it like? You see, from that moment, I want you to capture the vision of the future, because that vision of the future has the power to enable you to agree with it, to align with it, and to act according to it. See, what is it that you're experiencing? Now, I want you to see that dream, and I want you to take a picture of it and not forget it. All right, open your eyes. Somebody want to share, what's the future that you saw? What's the future that you saw in your heart? Nothing. That is awesome. Yes. Yes. So you were experiencing what I would call that vision of abundance, right? Because you said you had resources, you're traveling, you're retired, you didn't have to worry about money. The kids could come and see you, right? Maybe grandkids, right? Yeah. That vision of abundance. Somebody else. See, now you've got energy from the future. You can leverage that energy from the future, that a place of abundance. So you have to come into agreement with it, though, right? Do you deserve it? You what? That sounded more like a question. You do deserve it. Yeah. That's right, exactly. So you deserve it, right? What is right now is not relevant, right? What is in the future is what's most relevant. Somebody else share, what did you experience? Tranquility and peace, yeah. Can you go into any more context of what was that like? Yeah. Oh, yes. 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 The vineyards. Yes. And then hopefully in that vision was my wife and I coming to visit you guys at you. Yeah. Okay, so what you experienced was that vision of tranquility, that vision of peace. And ultimately, that's what your heart is pursuing. That's what your brain is trying to accomplish. Your brain is trying to bring unity. It's trying to bring peace, tranquility. And so borrow from that vision now to influence and inform you moving forward. So there's going to be decisions that have to be made because you can do that. It is not outside of your reach. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. And we will come visit you. All right, somebody else want to share? We have time. Yeah, George. Beautiful. Awesome. So the future you saw was you and your wife together. Yeah. So the family and companionship. So you're looking at a vision of companionship, right? Sharing the journey together, right? So borrow from that to create the life that you want. Right? So here's the gift that I hope I can give you today is something to think about as you begin to lead forward in this post-COVID world, that you create the life of your dreams, the life that you deserve, the life that you want, and the life that will mean the most to you. I can tell you for me today, just getting to share these moments with you has meant everything to me. Getting to share this weekend with you has meant everything to me. Now, I know in the incentive industry, gifting is a big deal. Who of you like gifts? That's it. I love gifts. If you ask me if I like gifts, I'm going to do a dance. Boom, yeah. I mean, I'm in, right? So I've got a gift for everybody today, and I promise you, I don't do this that often. The last time I did this, Chris, was in Playa del Carmen. And so, guys, I'm giving everybody in here an hour of my time in coaching. All right? This I get paid money to do this, right? This isn't something I do for kicks. Right? So, but I'm giving it to you for free. And so, guys, depending on how many of you are doing this, this could be tens of thousands of dollars that I'm giving away today. So I want you to take me up on it. The address is jeromewade.com/meeting, and it'll take you to my personal scheduler, and you'll find a time that works for you. I want to share that with you. I want to give it to you. And let me assure you, it is not a sales pitch. I'm not going to try to work you. I'm not going to try to find some angle to do business with you. This is about me gifting my time, my experiences, my solutions, my heart to you, and I hope and trust that you'll take advantage of that. But ladies and gentlemen, Site Texas, thank you so much for allowing me to share this. And let me just say to my good friend Chris, you know, his last name says everything. He's a savage. But I tell you what, I love this guy, and I do think he's the sexiest man alive. Would you agree with me today? Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I love you, and I look forward to seeing you again. Awesome. Thank you.
That was amazing. Thank you, Jerome. And he was so gracious to come and MC the event as well. So he does travel, and I know we have a lot of meeting planners in the room, and hopefully you were able to see what a great speaker, but also what a great MC he is, to keep the energy up and keep us all organized. And would you believe it, this whole event ran on time. So big round of applause for that. So I wanted to close out this afternoon with a big heartfelt thank you to some of our gold, diamond, and platinum sponsors, Fairmont, Austin, and Accor. How fabulous did the Fairmont do? They really did a great job. And you know, just knowing that times are tough right now, I didn't feel like we were all talking about short staffing, and all. I did not feel that here. I felt like we were very well taken care of, and I didn't feel any of, I'm sure they have a lot of stresses behind the scenes, but we didn't see any of that. So thank you so much. Encore, audio visual. They're in the back. Wave to us. They did a really great job, and they really, helped us through this process. Being an association and a nonprofit, we're very supportive of our budget, and threw in a lot of extras. So thank you for that. The Marriott Austin downtown, where we had our wonderful welcome reception at the Zanzibar, that fabulous venue, that super turnkey, wonderful. And Hub DM, thank you so much for being one of our gold sponsors. Attendee Management, Jill Rasco and the whole Rasco family, the whole clan. Jay Woods Photography, is Jim in here somewhere? He's right there. I see your bushy hair. And lastly, I personally just wanted to thank you for coming to my hometown, Austin, Texas. I never in a gazillion million years thought that the Tech Summit would come to Austin. And because of all of these weird events this year, we ended up in the capital city of Texas, the live music capital of the world, Austin, Texas, representing Hook'em. Sorry to any OU or Baylor people out there, but anyway. Thank you so much for coming here. I really wanted to thank the most important people of this conference, the people that volunteered their time and made it all happen. As you know, this is not our main job. We all have full-time jobs, but we just really care about this industry. We care about the relationships that Site gives us and provides us. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't have been able to get through this past year without my colleagues from Site, that we all really held each other up and supported each other, helped each other find new career paths or jobs, or just sat on Zoom and just drank copious amounts of margaritas. I thank all of you for that. So I would like to invite them up to the stage. These are my champions, and you are all champions for being here, for still being here in this industry, for attending this conference, but especially Lorraine Mahoney and Chris Savage, Pat McCain, Lauren Dunaway, Joe Rasco, Andre Lico, Brittany Skinnier, Michelle Crosby, and Mr. Todd Zint, who was in the tech booth the entire time. Please, guys, grab your gift. There's a gift at the bottom of the stage. Oh, okay, grab your gift. These are my champions, and we're all gonna sing We're the Champion, because why not? Grab your popcorn, grab your gift. Are the champions, my friends. We'll keep on fighting to the end. Never give me a microphone. We are the champions. I can't hit that note. We are the champions of the world. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We did it. Thank you so much. We have a couple more words from Lorraine to close out this afternoon. Enjoy Austin. It's going to be a beautiful day. I know some of you are staying over. Don't get in trouble, but if you do, just call me. I'll bail you out of jail.
Wow, what a hard act to follow. There will be no singing or wonderful music, but Emily, thank you so much for your leadership. You have been absolutely amazing. And one more shout out to Pat McCain, who is walking away from the stage, who has had heroic efforts on behalf of this organization throughout the years, but this year in particular has been amazing. What she has managed to do, working with all of you, our suppliers, and the silent auction. Thank you, Pat, for your just amazing dedication. So also a personal thank you from me to Nancy for being our champion with Accor and Fairmont and allowing this beautiful hotel to become our venue. I wouldn't, it's been a really just an incredible experience. So, and on that note, we have a campaign that was pioneered by Lauren Dunaway, our incredible past president, called iBuySite. And it's where either our buyers or our suppliers are welcome to create a small video that talk about the relationships that they have developed as a result of Site. And so we're going to play a little bit one of our favorites now.
My name is Casimiro Ramirez, and I contract Site. I'm very proud to say that I've been a Site member for almost 15 years. In my career, I have met a lot of clients, customers, and partners. But through Site, I've really made some of the really nicest relationships that you can ask for personally and business-wise. The Site people around the world is just a great family. It's a great resource. The education, the networking, and the world-class events that you can assist and you can be part of, they're just second to none. I have to say that 2021 is going to be a very challenging year, but together we're going to go through and we're going to make it through. So please join Site, come back to Site, and renew with Site. We are very proud of what we're doing, and we have a lot of great things in store for you and for your company in 2021. Again, my name is Casimiro Ramirez, and I approve this message.
Thank you, Casimiro. I might have to start playing that for myself when I'm having a bad day because I can't watch it without smiling. So thank you for all you bring to the table. So looking forward, on the very short term, Julie Blank would not forgive me if I did not mention the very exciting education series that she's launching for May 27th at noon. It is a virtual study group, sort of playing off the idea of the CITP study group that was such a huge success last year for our chapter. So this is going to be a virtual study group about incentives, the business of incentives. So excited about that. And then, of course, you heard Brandy about Malia. Who is not excited about Malia and next year in Punta Cana? Going to be an incredible year for all of our suppliers that are here. Information coming out soon. We might do some teasers and incentives. So don't tell Pat, I haven't talked to her yet about, early birds, that kind of thing. But we're wanting to get everyone there. So anyone wants to be there, we're looking forward to that. So thank you with that. To our virtual audience, we're sorry you couldn't be here in person, but we hope that you enjoyed it. For those of you that have joined us in person, thank you again for taking your time to be with us. I hope that it was the most incredible experience as it was for me. And we look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you.
Bad bitches and your ugly ass friends. I cannot preach. I cannot preach. I gotta show them how a pimp get it in. First, take your sip, do your dip, spend your money like money ain't this? Hashtag blessed. They ain't ready for me. I'm a dangerous man with some money in my pocket. Keep up. So many pretty girls around me and they're waking up the rocket. Keep up. Why you mad? Fix your face. Ain't my fault they all be jocking. Keep up. Players only. Come on, put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do? What you trying to do? 24 karat magic in the air. Head to toe so clear. Look out. Everywhere I go, they be like, so clear. Everywhere I go, they be like, so clear. Everywhere I go, they be like, so clear. Now, watch me break it down like, 24 karat. What's that sound? Come on now. 24 karat, 24 karat magic. Don't fight the feeling, invite the feeling. Just put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do? Tell me what you're trying to do. 24 karat magic in the air. Head to toe so clear. Put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do? 24 karat magic in the air. Head to toe so clear. Look out. It's a perfect